hanging from a thread till you dead. Cause your partner put a price on your head. Cause your chick was laying up in his bed. She getting details, spilling every word that you said. She working retail, thirsty bitch just trying to get ahead. If history tell us anything, y'all both end up dead. It's just a street tale, a fable, some shit someone said. Sit at the table and hope there's more to offer than bread. Pulled out the cradle, first steps you getting chased by a fed. No head starts, just body parts and lead sparks. Old religion, brand new hate and weak hearts. Oligarchs, krakens, dragons, you see sharks. Imagine you could manage to maneuver the deep part. You a savage, you can have it, just show all your teeth sharp. If you could grab it, you could stab it, just aim for the bleeding heart. The ones that show compassion, the soldier that seeks art. Does the artist that wage war take over or take part? Taking a knee, thinking no one faithful is me. I'm good people in bad lands, no evil live within me. I mind mine, I survive, find this lands for the free. If I'm mistaken, I'm forsaken, no one rescuing me. Residual effects, stray bullets through familiar necks. For any number of infractions that I deem disrespect. Your beliefs, you deserve better, but we both in the shit. You just haven't come to grips with it yet. Fight or flight, and they ain't really nowhere to go. If your back is against the wall and you ain't throwing no blows, you gon' crumble in the rubble, become blood in the snow. If you a victim, they collect them, grab the body and go. Dig them and ditch them, total disregard for the soul. Gas them and lit them, watch the flesh burn in the glow. Where we live and catch a shiver, this a hell you don't know. Your best hope is that your dying ain't slow, or your dying's a show. Where we at, it's every man for his own. A bloody backdrop, where killers just zone and slice flesh to the bone. Masked and gloved up front of your home. A flash of gun, but the side of your dome. Fresh blood from a stone, dents in your sense. Kick your fucking ball through the fence, dare you to say something. No sense in sitting around in suspense. Find out what's next, open your fucking mouth, disrespect. See the extent of how my life is intense. She beautiful and oppressed in a permanent summer dress. She a servant and still she blessed. Children cradled against her breast, whispering prayers, wishing their souls the best, knowing that they forgotten, not forgetting they're blessed. The bloodiest red lights, just piles of dead life. Something must be broken, the glimpse wasn't read right. You think them Bible papers will shed light? Yeah, right. Burn after reading, tell the preacher I'm leaving. What is poppin', people? Welcome back to Shy Ill Reacts. I am your host, Shy Ill, and we are back in the building. Salutes to y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me tonight on this lovely, Thursday night, all right? Salutes to y'all. Wasn't planning on going live, but we got stuff to talk about. All right, people have questions and concerns. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. All right, we're going to do this the quick way, the slick way. Salutes to y'all. I appreciate y'all for hanging out tonight. It's going to be labor intensive for me. A lot of reading, a lot of translating. But we got stuff to talk about. Salutes to y'all. Shout out Shannon on the check-in. Shout out Zoraida. 298 Sosa. Gilberto. Salutes Velez. 030 North in the building. Airplane, salutes. Darkly Noon, Jaysta, salutes. Shout out Shannon, Bow. The TTS is in the it is pinned in the live chat. TTS is text to speech. You can put your name on it, or you can do it anonymously. For a $2 minimum donation, you can have your comment displayed and read out right on my screen. It'll look something like this. We'll play JP's from the other night. Let's get it.
You never play me, nice try. Ballin' in a nice spot. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Hello, Mr. Nice Watch.
Jonathan Pantuia sent $5 salutes at Chill my dude, ill Cartel members, and chat. I hope you have a blessed and grateful Monday. Please like and subscribe the great quality content, it's free. I know he has it out against me, but my recovering self is wondering la invitación.
Salutes to JP, all right? Salutes to him wherever he's at. Hopefully he'll pop up tonight. Hopefully he's having a blessed and grateful Thursday. Salutes. Shout out 323G on the check-in. 298 Sosa. Appreciate you. What else we got to cover? Let's get it. All right? The big news today. Now, I had heard something before that, but we're going to get to that right after because people have been raising those questions. Let me do this real quick. Get this out of here. And let's pull up this AP report. All right. Hundreds up in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let's get it, all right?
Tango el gato, los pantalones.
All right, Mexico sends rug lord Caro Quintero and 28 others to the U.S. as officials meet with Trump team. All right? I saw this list early today. We'll get through the list. My first thought was, so what? Let's get it. FBI 10 most wanted fugitive, violent crimes in aid of racketeering, conspiracy to commit violent crimes in aid of racketeering, conspiracy to kidnap a federal agent, snatching an agent, felony unaliving of a federal agent, aiding and abetting accessories after the fact. This is all from the Kiki Camarena case. Mexico City AP. Mexico has sent rug lord Rafael Caro Quintero, who was behind the unaliving of a USA DEA agent in 1985, to the United States with 28 prisoners requested by the U.S. government. A Mexican government official and other sources said Thursday. All right? It comes as top Mexican officials are in Washington trying to head off the Trump administration's threat of imposing 25% tariffs on all Mexican imports starting Tuesday. I remember, they pushed it back, and doomsday is coming. Hit the like button, y'all. The official who requested anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss this case, which is the problem, because everybody is confirming stuff. Nobody knows where the confirmation's coming from. Everybody's calling everybody a liar, and the truth is nobody's telling the truth, right? The official who requested anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss the case confirmed Caro Quintero's removal. Another person familiar with Mexico's actions also confirmed the removal of the condition of anonymity because they were unable to discuss sensitive diplomatic negotiations. Okay. Mexico's Attorney General's office said in a statement that the 29 prisoners sent to the U.S. Thursday face charges related to rug trafficking, amongst other crimes. I'm trying to understand this. The official who requested anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss the case confirmed Caro Quintero's removal. Another person familiar with Mexico's actions also confirmed the removal on the condition of anonymity. Okay, everybody wants to be anonymous. Shout out Eddie Jimenez on the check-in. Appreciate you, sir. Salutes. Also among those removed were two leaders of Los Zetas cartel, Mexicans Miguel Treviño Morales and his brother Omar Treviño Morales, known as Z40 and Z42, the official confirmed. This is historical.
This has really never happened in the history of Mexico, said Mike Vigil, former DEA chief of international operations. This is a huge celebratory thing for the Drug Enforcement Administration. Why? You ain't catching nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's a big thing. Somebody handed you some shit over. Whatever. Let's get it. That's how I feel. Shout out Fernando. All for show. Claudia gave Trump, what is that? Atole con el dedo? What's that mean? And Trump is happy because he will flaunt these individuals as if he made a power play. Absolutely. Absolutely. My joke today was that they raided the nursing home. They raided the nursing home and they cleared their prisons of anybody older than 69 years old or some shit like that. All right? But these guys celebrating, you didn't catch nothing. The removal of drug lords from Mexico coincided with the visit to Washington by Mexico's Foreign Minister Juan Ramón de la Fuente and other top economic and military officials who met with the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. The meeting was the latest in ongoing negotiations with the U.S. over trade and security relations, which have radically shifted since U.S. President Donald Trump took office. In exchange for delaying tariffs, Trump had insisted that Mexico crack down on cartels, illegal migration, and feriwap production. Despite significant dips in migration and overdoing it over the past year, the removals may indicate the negotiations are moving along as the tariff deadline approaches. Mexico's surprise handover of one of FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives was weeks in the making. Caro Quintero had walked free in 2013 after 28 years in prison when a court overturned his 40-year sentence for the 1985 snatching and unaliving of U.S. DEA agent Enrique Kiki Camarena. The brutal unaliving marked a low point in U.S.-Mexico relations. Caro Quintero, the former leader of the Guadalajara cartel, has since returned to drug trafficking and unleashed bloody turf battles in the northern Mexico border state of Sonora until he was arrested by Mexican forces in 2022. In January, a nonprofit group representing the Camarena family sent a letter to the White House urging the Trump administration to renew long-standing U.S. requests for Mexico to extradite Caro Quintero, and according to a copy of the letter provided to the Associated Press by a person familiar with the family's outreach, his return to the U.S. would give the family much-needed closure and serve the best interests of justice, the letter states. All right, salutes to the chat. Shout out my brother Oso on the check-in. Salutes Jose Amado. They raided the nursing home, Shannon. They was like, hey man, give me all them dudes that y'all snatched up, you know? Run them. They just sitting there doing nothing, right? We could use that. Let's get it. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. Pressure increased after Trump threatened imposing stiff trade tariffs on Mexico and designated several Mexican cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, according to the person on the condition of anonymity to discuss the sensitive diplomacy that went into Caro Quintero's removal. According to this anonymous person, the acting head of the U.S. DEA, Derek Maltz, provided to the White House a list of nearly 30 Mexican targets wanted in the U.S. on criminal charges. According to the person, Caro Quintero, for whose arrest the U.S. had offered a $20 million reward, was number one on that list, according to that person. Shout out Upper Echelon on the check-in. All right. Let's see. The person said President Claudia Sheinbaum's government, in a rush to seek favor with the Trump administration and show itself a strong ally in the fight against the cartels, bypassed the formalities of the U.S.-Mexico extradition treaty to remove Caro Quintero and the other defendants. In a rush to seek favor with the Trump administration. That means it could potentially allow prosecutors in the U.S. to try him for Camarena's unaliving, something not contemplated in the existing extradition request to face separate drug trafficking charges in Brooklyn in federal court. If he's being sent to the U.S. outside of a formal extradition, and if Mexico didn't place any restrictions, then he can be prosecuted for whatever the U.S. wants, according to Bonnie Clapper, a former federal narcotics prosecutor in Brooklyn who is familiar with the case. The U.S. has sought the extradition of Caro Quintero shortly after his arrest in 2022, but the request remained stuck at Mexico's foreign ministry for unknown reasons, as Sheinbaum's predecessor and political mentor, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, severely curtailed Mexican cooperation with DEA to protest undercover U.S. law enforcement operations in Mexico targeting senior political and military officials. The removal of the Trevino Morales brothers also marks the end of a long process that began after the capture in 2013 of Miguel Trevino Morales and 2 years later of his brother Omar. The process wound on for so many years that Mexico's Attorney General Alejandro Gertz Manero described the lags as truly shameful. The Trevino Morales family, who have been accused by American authorities of running the violent Northeastern Cartel from prison, have charges pending in the U.S. for participation in a criminal organization, rug trafficking, firearms offenses, and money laundering. Mexican security analyst Dave Salcedo said that since negotiations with the Trump administration began, he had expected the U.S. government to demand three things: an increase in rug seizures, arrests on high-profile rug trafficking suspects, and the handing over of rug traffickers long targeted by the U.S. for extradition. All right, so give me those guys that you got rotting in the jail. Hit the like button, y'all. Give me those guys. We need those guys, all right? Salutes. He called Thursday's removals an important concession by Mexico to the United States. By Mexico's governments to the United States. The United States' intention is to extend its justice system so that crimes committed in Mexico are prosecuted in the U.S., Salcedo said. The decision also threatens to upend an unwritten understanding with notable exceptions. That Mexican rug lords would serve sentences in Mexican prisons where they were often able to continue to run their illicit businesses, Salcedo said. There will surely be a furious reaction by rug trafficking groups against the Mexican state, he said. All right, there you have it. Now, what I saw in the Discord this evening, and I'm gonna drop the link for the Discord in the live chat for anybody that wants to join. When this news started circulating through the Discord today, I had already considered that we were going live tonight, and I had already considered that that even though I hadn't read this yet, I kind of knew what this was. I felt like I knew what this was about. But I saw people saying, "Oh, could this have been a trade for Mayo?" I don't think so. Personally, I don't think this could be a trade for Mayo. I think this is about the tariffs, and this is the same gesture as the gesture to send those troops to the border when they threatened her with the tariffs last time. This is just another way to placate the U.S. and like Fernando said, the U.S. could, parade these guys around and pretend they did something. That's what I see. Shout out Upper Echelon. I also have a statement from Upper Echelon that he posted online that I'm going to read about this subject. Matter of fact, we're going to get to that next. Al Pal says E40 was still not convicted. He still had lawyers going on his case after like 11 years. Probably why they took him. Corruption probably would have said he not guilty. Yeah, they said it was embarrassingly long, that process. Anahuac, Nuevo León, that's where they captured him, where they found him from. Breaking news, Upper Echelon is about to join the live. Dolo Solo, I don't know. Do you know that for sure? Are you willing to bet on that? 100% on the tariffs. Yeah, this is about the tariffs. This ain't about Mayo. We're going to talk about Mayo. All right, hit the like button, y'all. We're going to talk about Mayo. Let's get it. Let me read Upper Echelon's statement. You willing to bet on it, Dolo Solo? I could fix that bet, right? I could just not let his ass in here. Salutes. Shout out a chef. Shout out Dolo Solo. Shout out a chef from AZ. Salutes to you. Let's get it. go. Okay, you do realize. Good. Glad you know that. Tariffs extensions expire, I believe, March 3rd. Yeah. What they say, Tuesday? Yeah, no, they got to do something quick. All right, here's what we're going to do. I need you to throw Caro Quintero and whatever we got left of the Zetas in the back, throw them in the bag, send them to the U.S. We got to stop this shit right now. This shit got to, we got to get a hold of this whole shit. Salute Dolo Solo. How's the list going? I heard there's information on that. What do you know, Jorge Moro? Tell us. Huh? Are they going to let these lists out? I need to know what's up with this information on this Kennedy shit too, man. All right? I need to know all of it. Let's get it. Breaking. Mexico extradites 29 rug lords, including Rafael Caro Quintero, Vicente Carrillo Fuentes, and Los Zetas leaders to the U.S. I was just asking myself last week why Rafa was never extradited. He must have that power. Who knows, man? They had to pick and choose the corruption that they were going to hold on to. You know what I'm saying? They had to pick and choose their battles at this moment. Is tariffs, or do we hold on to our people? Do we go get Mayo, or do we worry about these tariffs? Tariffs. 25%. Eso es mucho. You know? Hit the like button if you have yet to do so, y'all. All right? You're just a hater if you're enjoying yourself and you're being entertained and you're not using a little kinetic energy to hit the like button. If you're on the phone, it should be a like button. If not, hit the 3 dots, find the like button, but hit the like button. Let's get it. Mexico has extradited 29 high-profile rug traffickers to the United States, one of the most significant crackdowns in organized crime in decades. Among them are Rafael Caro Quintero, co-founder of the Guadalajara Cartel, responsible for the 1985 unaliving of DEA agent Kiki Camarena. Vincent Carrillo Fuentes, leader of the Juarez Cartel, one of the most powerful and violent rug trafficking organizations in history. Miguel Angel and Omar Treviño Morales, former leaders of Los Zetas, notorious for their brutality and military-style operations. And if I'm not mistaken, those are the guys that, those Zetas guys, those were the guys that, you know, if they felt like it and there was a soldier there that they felt like, you know, they want to get his shit pushed in, they was going to do that. Remember we had that conversation? Yeah, that's them. For years, many of these kingpins continued running operations from inside Mexican prisons, controlling rug routes, ordering executions, and laundering millions. Now they're being sent to face U.S. justice where there's no bribing guards, no escaping this, and no more calling the shots. All right? Boom. Upper Echelon said, I'll jump on for a few minutes after you go through my statement. Salute, see? Dolo Solo, you was right. No, but Dolo Solo, I could fix this bet. I could say, no the fuck you not. I'm going to read your statement and that's it. I'm just putting it all on the line. We put motherfuckers in the back. Put them in a fucking bench, Mike. Trump is going to send them to El Salvador. That'd be fucked, right? You in prison in Mexico. You think, all right, this is as good as it gets. I'm in Mexico. You get sent to the United States. Fuck, I'm in the United States. My worst fears are here. You know what I mean? And then they say, yeah, but you're not going to stay here. We're sending your ass to El Salvador. Shout out Dolo Solo. Should have placed your bet, Dolo. Now I can fix that bet, though, but it's not a good bet. Not a good bet, and I like money. There's a few names on that list already. Alec Baldwin, Michael Jackson, Vicente Fernandez, Upper Echelon, Velez. Oh, it's crazy, bro. Primo, you wildin'. That should have get you put in the bathroom. Put him in a fucking bedroom. You know what that's called, Primo? To you, it's called joking. To me, it's called putting false charges on motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? The fuck are you doing? Where's Canadian El Jefe at? Salutes. No more locked doors. Don't lock them out. Let's get it. No more calling the shots. This move will send shockwaves through cartel leadership in Mexico. Many in power now know they could be next. And the fear of extradition is real. The U.S. government has made it clear, no matter how powerful you think you are, there's no hiding from justice. I don't think anyone could have imagined that one day you would have some of the founders of the original Jalisco cartel, the Federation, and the Sinaloa cartel, Rafael Caro Quintero, El Chapo Guzman, El Mayo Zambada, Vicente Carrillo Fuentes, Alfredo Beltran Leiva, along with the founders of the Zetas cartel, all sitting in U.S. federal prisons. In the criminal world, this is doomsday. President Donald Trump's administration has been exerting significant pressure and I believe we're going to get into the Joan Grillo interview with Mayo's lawyer, but he felt the same way about these all these things, that it's just pressure. He's applying pressure on them. Administration has been exerting significant pressure on Mexico to take decisive action against drug cartels. This extradition is a prime example of that pressure yielding results. The designation of several Mexican cartels as terrorist organizations and the threat of imposing tariffs on Mexican imports have underscored the U.S. government's committal to combating these criminal organizations. In response, Mexico has intensified its efforts, leading to these substantial extraditions. Well, you push some paper. You got some guys out the joint. You sent them over here. All right, we'll see. No country is obligated to extradite anyone. Sometimes refusing is just a matter of sovereignty, essentially saying we can handle our own affairs. Yeah. Or we don't want you to have our guy, bro. This is our guy. He's going to have us all turned into lunch meat if we don't handle our business. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. Salutes. No, the first names I said for real: Alec Baldwin, Michael Jackson, a few more. I gotta look at. I gotta see. There's been a lot of fake lists out there. That El Salvador prison is on a whole different level. Sure is. Chapo and Mayo weren't part of this deal. He's not saying they were part of the deal. He's saying who would have ever thunk that they'd all be in the feds. Exactly. There you go. Al the Power salutes. Organizations in response, Mexico's intensified efforts leading to these substantial extraditions. As someone who has lived this life, I know what these extraditions mean. This is a game changer. The power structure is shifting, and many in the underworld are watching closely. I'm grateful every day for the opportunity I had to change my life, and I'll keep using my story to help others understand the reality of this world. All right, salute Think Like a Kingpin. That's his statement. I'll drop the StreamYard link for him. All right, let me get in here. Oh, shit. Give me a second. I had to put in codes and shit. All right. What happened to Brew Monster? I thought he got clapped. Same issues when Biden was meeting with Mexican officials and magically they caught El Raton and forgot what other big name. Great, now I have to pay taxes to support some Mexican rug lords to stay in an American prison. I've heard this sentiment already today, one time. Absolutely. The exact words were it's going to be expensive to keep them here. Salutes. 56 watching, 30 likes. If you watch the live and not like, you go straight to jail. Straight to jail. Gotta go straight to jail. Hit the like button, yo. Alright, hit the like button. Jose Bucio, Trump effect. Did not think I'd see the day Caro Quintero's E40 were extradited among many others to the biggest cabrones. Two of the biggest others, this two of the biggest cabrones. That's exactly what was just said in that statement. Who would have thunk it? All right. Shout out Brew Monster in the check-in. Shout out Jose Bucio. Hit the like button. Hit all these little buttons. Everything you see, hit that shit. Let's get it. Do I need an update? Nah, give me run this. Let me go in here. And I'm going to drop the link to all right, there we go. I'm going to drop the link to Upper Echelon. Get in here. Boom. Let me add myself to the stage. Let me get the link. Bow. Let me send the link. All right, link is sent. Boom. Let's see. Ready, set, go. Dolo Solo, you know, again, you know who has the power here. I done kicked fucking Upper Echelon out of here before, okay? you gonna end up with that motherfucker in the back.
I'm in a fucking bed, you might.
How do we know at this point the Epstein list that's being released wasn't altered? Exactly. How did we know? We wouldn't have known if they would have let it out on day one. We would have never known that. We're still gonna always have questions, dog. There's never gonna not be questions. But yeah, how do we know at this point that the Epstein list being released wasn't altered? Doubt if Trump was on it, he would allow the list to include him. Psh, what? Damn right he wouldn't.
Yo, how are you?
Yo, you gotta lower me in the back.
I know.
Right.
I just turned you on. That's why I just. how you doing, bro? Am I on already?
Yeah, they can hear you.
All right.
Give me one sec. Let me finish getting through this chat real quick. Hold on. That's why Doe's working on them. Doe's working on the cuts. Curry with the 56-point game, but less all over the place. Imagine getting waked up in your cell like 3 a.m. Let's go. We going to the United States. Shout out for Phoenix. Put me in, coach. Solo Dolo. In the bathroom? Come on, Dolo Solo. You must not know what that means. Homie on the top left looks like he's going to cost me a lot of tax money and food. And shout out Dan Sosa on the check-in, New Jersey. Jay Flores. Salute, sir. What are your thoughts?
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for having me, Shai. Big shout out to you, to everyone in the chat. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm a little bit under the weather, bro, so I figured I have like a couple hours before I really, get sick. So I thought I'd jump on and talk to you for a minute.
Yeah, you better not get none of us sick, bro. We're not with the bullshit over here.
Yeah, it's funny. I see your post about everyone being old, right? They would pick people up at the hospital
Yeah.
At the fucking elderly homes and all that.
Yes, nursing home. The nursing home hype going on. They raided the nursing home. They said, "All right, man, we caught a bunch of guys that you guys wanted. Here you go."
Yeah, it does seem like that because I think it's like that for us because we want to tend to think that just because we don't really hear about them, like that's it. It's okay for the government to leave them alone. Like somebody like Carlos Quintero, I think he's like 80 years old right now, I believe. He's
Something
probably
like
done
that.
he's done like over like 40 something years in prison. But the United States never forgets. I will tell you, I always hear, the comments saying, the cartel never forgets. Like, nah, they forget because most of them die off, But the government, that they'll hunt you forever.
Them motherfuckers don't forget. They leave a file aside for the next guy, a dossier.
Yeah. They got a computer. Keeping an eye, making sure you're gonna pay and suffer the consequences. But I really think that I truthfully I never could imagine that all of these big cartel bosses would all be in prison in the United States. This is like a historical event, I think, and it's just gonna show send a message to everyone that the United States is gonna prosecute you and find you and bring you to prison. Before it was real easy, we would say, we'll go to Mexico and we're good. You got money, you can pay people off, but it doesn't matter. I really do believe that it's going to be a game changer, and what happens in Mexico and what's going to happen in the United States. One of the things I do want to share is I want to start an online list, Shy, for all those cartel members, like everyone who says they were cartel and all those people who say they had cartel plugs. Go ahead, man, sign up and say you're a cartel member now. Let's see, if you got the balls to do it.
Right. Yeah, if you got a nickel bag in the park from a Mexican guy, you know what I'm saying? That's your cartel connect. Go on, say it out loud right now.
Yeah, I moved the key, and now I was plugged. I was part of the cartel, and I think that even people in Mexico, what's going to happen is they're going to want to disassociate themselves from the word cartel or any of those organizations, because right now they're seeing it for their own eyes that the United States isn't playing, and the government of Mexico is not going to even consider getting paid off. I know that many of those people who got extradited had all these really court proceedings that were like basically put on, thrown away, right? Shy. Like they didn't even consider them. They just said, fuck you and your rights, and
Right,
they put
right.
them on the plane.
That's what Buddy just said. Buddy said in the chat, I forget who it was, said, dude still got lawyers on his case, and they threw all that shit away and sent him over here.
Yeah.
So do you
You know
think
what?
this is? Do you think this is like breaking the ice, right? So breaking the ice in the sense of, all right, go ahead, send us these guys that been locked up, that you've been had in these dungeons, send them over here, right? But this is breaking the ice to kind of show, you see, the wheels are moving, and we're now open to extradition.
I think this is breaking the glacier of ice. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I think like they're feeling the pressure about themselves, and this will happen. Look, you're seeing the Mexican government feeling the pressure. You could imagine what the United States basically told them, and now they're basically trying to do what everyone does when they're in the hot seat, right? And they're in trouble and cooperate.
Yeah,
It's like you
talk
want to give
fast
them
and offer up shit.
yeah, offer up shit. You want to give them all the stuff, all the things that you think are not gonna matter, except for the things that do matter. You'll save those for last, and this was, I guess, a sign of good faith to Donald Trump, saying, "Look, we're gonna cooperate with you guys, and here's the people that you guys have been wanting." And just to think about it, right now that it happened. It's almost stupid that they fight the United States for decades on extraditing these people, because some of these people don't even have charges in Mexico. Shy, like there's been people that they hold and they fight extradition, don't even have charges in Mexico, and they'll they'll let them sit there and try to fight extradition and see if they could escape from prison or pay off a judge, a couple months ago.
Wait. You're saying they're locked up in Mexico for crimes committed or for charges that are in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Mm.
Like they do their time where they don't even have charges and they still, fighting extradition in a Mexican prison. And like a couple months ago, I want to tell you, like 6-7 months ago, one of the head of the Arellano Felix cartel, right? Who was after Javier, which was his nephew, El Ingeniero. He was released, after serving 8 years. He was released on supposedly home confinement. After paying, I don't know, who knows how much he paid the judge, but he had 3 or 4 different federal indictments, and he was supposed to be extradited. Mm-hmm. And what do you think he did? You think he went to get house arrest? No,
you think he went to see his PO and get an anklet put on his shit?
And it happens, and that's why they fight it, because they always think there's a chance. Even Caro Quintero being one of them. He served I think 33 years or 36 years, whatever he served in, and he had the extradition. They just let him go, and then 24 hours later, the judge said, "Oh, that we made a mistake by letting him go. It was too late," and then he was free for whatever 4 or 5 years, whatever he was free for.
Little bit of time, man. Little bit of time. That guy's going down as on that level, because that guy's in every fucking story for the last 50 years.
Yeah, and people are gonna see all these guys. They're gonna be like, "That's who he is." Mm-hmm. He doesn't look like Tony Montana. They're gonna they're gonna say that because they're all old. Look at these guys.
Right.
And I would tell you something like, look, I could be a little bit biased, and this is a personal feeling, just because I've been on many sides of this, right? Mm-hmm. I've dealt with cartel bosses from the Gulf. I dealt with Sinaloa bosses, the Beltran labels, right? And yeah, even though they're all alike, they're more vicious. Some are more vicious than the other ones, But I got to experience firsthand, the Zetas and their leadership. And I would tell you something, like, they were the worst of the worst, Mm-hmm. If anyone deserves to face justice and spend their time in ADX, it's gonna be these two dudes, Z40 and Z42,
right?
The brothers. Like, they invented, what the violence and the type of violence we're seeing today, with the chopping heads off and all the stuff. They invented that. Mm-hmm. They were like the pioneers of doing that. They were just they disregarded human life by any forms, and they're the ones that would kidnap families and started basically that stuff.
And there's people that wear their jersey.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna tell you something. Like, a big shout out to Solo Dolo and those people who know. Like, look, those stories I tell you about, like that they would rape their own, hitman and chop their, uh, privates off and stuff like that. That was them. They're gay too. I don't know if they're gay by by like because that's what their preference, but I think they just like to do it just to say they could do it. They're
They
just
was
like
just
the
basically
dirtiest people.
monster shit. The motherfuckers is psychopath, sociopath, all of the paths. Every path that you could take, they own it.
You know, yeah, and they're like vicious. Like they created that, and I don't even know how Mexico would even like even the corrupt officials would even put up with it. Now, I think a couple of years ago, I do know that they sent like the warden's family to get killed because he did something to him. So that's you got understanding the other side of it as well, like how they use their violence and power and influence, to corrupt some of these officials. And it's understandable, for the officials to sometimes like you know not want to deal with it with the repercussions, right? But shit, they could also quit too, and and I think it's a big win, and like for the citizens of Mexico as well, and for the government and for all those prosecutors, like man, just to give you an idea, okay? Look, bro, one person they found out one person was cooperating from this little town. I think it was in Tamaulipas, maybe, you know, and the town, the little ranch was, probably had like 200-300 families there, right, or 400, whatever, or a couple of thousand. Well, they went and burned the whole town down, like
Yeah.
literally every house, every person. They killed so many people. They basically like bulldozed the whole town. Okay, just because one person, cooperated against them or whatever. So this is the type of people that they are, and I think that I, for all those people who are going to be rooting for them, I would love to see people rooting for them. I'd love to see that.
Let me
You
ask
know?
you, what do you think of the notion? What do you think this is about? What do you think of the notion or the thought out there that this might be a trade for Mayo? Do you and second to that is, do you feel this has to do with these tariffs?
That's what so I guess we're just like, we'll talk about it just because, we're doing this, but that's the most stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like the trade, like this is like the NBA or something. Like it's a game for real. And here's the issue. Like when I talk about the United States, when I talk about the government, I'm talking about it from a firsthand, experience of understanding who they are. Man, they ain't trading shit for shit. They're the ones with the juice. They're the ones that yeah, bro. Like, and I think that it's weird because like some of the people that we listen to, or some of the viewers, or and some even um like the people that are around the BS, like they would really believe that, and they'll give the power to like a cartel boss. They'll give the power to Chapo, right? They'll give the power to Mayo, but then they won't respect the power of the United States government, in real world stuff. Mexico depends on the United States, and I also think that Mexico should be continue to cooperate, should continue to accept the help and insurance, right? Hopefully they're able to negotiate something for all the immigrants. Hopefully they were able to negotiate something for for the real hardworking people, for the people who are out, just wanting a better life. But you see, I know people are gonna say, well, oh yeah, the U.S. depends on Mexico too, like, but you don't understand is like uh, you know the saying goes, right? My brother used to love saying this saying all the time, little money never told big money what to do. You know how that you understand that one, right? So chat, I know you'll get it, Shy, but it's like bro, of course they need each other, but the United States is not gonna, be at the mercy of a government that's being corrupt, and protecting criminals at the end of the day. It's like, it's like you're not gonna take no one's shit just because, especially when you don't have to. You rather deal with not having letters, I guess. You get me? Like, come on. Um, but I think that my biggest question right now is this administration, Donald Trump administration, are they gonna take a cooperation from some of these people? Because some of these people, I'm gonna tell you, I will tell you something. Most of these guys that got extradited today do belong in Cuba. You know what I'm saying? Well, they can't. Under the extradition treaty to Mexico, they can only give you a life sentence. They cannot enforce the death penalty. Um, well, yeah, for sure. Like, I'm gonna tell you, maybe I'm gonna admit something to you, that I have a soft spot, I guess, for some reason. Me also understanding that Miles in the same category, right? He was just because he's a boss, and he did ruthless things as well. But I also, in my point of view when I was there, like I also understood why, like, but for instance, like, strong message to every drug trafficker anywhere around the world is that they evoke the death penalty on Mayo, because he is eligible, remember, because he was arrested in the United States.
Right.
Like, for instance, Javier Arellano, El Tigrillo, he was arrested in international water. Like, they brought him, into the United States, so he was eligible for the death penalty. And I think, who else, if it's not people like that, then who else, who would be deserving of the death penalty,
Right.
Uh, I seen that, a recent arrest, right, in Chicago. I seen that there's this guy that, right, killed like 5 people or 9 people, I think, in a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, bro. Like, if people like that don't deserve the death penalty, and I don't believe in Christ, but justice is justice. I have to believe that those penalties are there for a reason.
Mind you, people, he was 20 years old. The kid that he's talking about that smoked 9 people, he was 20 years old.
Oh yeah, he's 20. I didn't even know, man. And you know what? And I'm only saying, look, he killed, I think, 5 or 9 people. Now look, I've met incredible people. Dolo Solo. Okay, he did something at a very young age. You know what I'm saying? He had to pay and suffer the consequences, and he paid for his time. Um, One time, but when you talk about someone who's killing, unaliving 5, 9, 7 people, mass murder, they think it's a game. Because I just saw another story of some guy in Alabama. You should research that one. In Alabama, that they say he was responsible for like 9% of the crime this past year or something in Alabama.
Shit.
And I think he had like 17 unalivings, I think, or 12 unalivings himself. And I'm talking about attempted murders and all kinds of stuff. But if you put things in perspective, and then you look at these cartel leaders, it's like, you know what? Who more deserving than them, and I think it's for the culture to wake up, right? Because it's all fun and games. Everyone's saying like, oh, cartel this, cartel that, right? And they ain't cartel shit, bro. They're just like to say that. Someone asked me a question the other day. I feel like cartel today only means drug trafficker, right? But with some of these laws, you know what? I want to meet the person that comes, and gets cocky about being like that. Today, there was an arrest, I think today or yesterday, with a Caucasian American who got caught with like 3 rifles, like 6 handguns and ammunition, all kinds of stuff, going into Mexico. But he was stopped by U.S. Customs, and it's like he's probably gonna be one of the first persons gonna get charged with harboring or helping a terrorist organization with weapons. You know what I mean? And he's looking. I mean, if that happens, I don't know. He's looking at what he could be looking at. He could probably be looking at the death penalty. Himself.
Right. They put him on some terrorism shit. Well, he puts himself in it. But now that they'll be paying attention on the way out type shit. You know what I'm saying? Ironically, that they're looking for this stuff on the way out, but now these guys ain't gonna be charged like they would have been charged. Now they be charged on some terrorism shit.
Well, yeah, and that carries a hefty penalty. So what I want to know is like, is the government going to accept their cooperation? Would they accept their cooperation? What does that look like? Because look, they can't charge these guys unless they supersede them under the new law, right? From my understanding, these people that have been extradited have been, they were, extradited under old indictments, So I don't think they could be charged with it. I'm not sure if there's some type of legal thing that they could do to charge them with it. But I just like I would want to see if their cooperation would be accepted and what does that look like, But regardless, all these guys fit the profile that no matter what, they would have to do the ADX step down. Even if they were to, cooperate, because of their influence and power and who they are.
Hold on. We got Rafael Caro Quintero in the chat. All right.
Okay.
He said, no tengo miedo que me manden a Estados Unidos. Se me antoja In-N-Out. All right. He wants an In-N-Out burger.
Yeah. The last thing you're gonna be getting is In-N-Out. I'll tell you that much. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, man. It's not like, man, it's scary, bro. Like, even just dealing with, my wife not being here, man. Like, I see her and the hardships that she goes through, just reminding me of no matter what, prison to prison, no matter what, but man, those prisons are no joke, and especially solitary confinement, like what they're gonna be kind of be put in. And I know that they're coming from harsher prisons as well in Mexico, but they get visits, they get congressional visits. They pay attorneys to come basically, pull them out every day. You get me? Like, they eat good, because money pays them stuff. Even though they are in harsh conditions, like, while they're in prison, they still get all these benefits. Like you've seen, where Chapo escaped from, right? It was a terrible prison, but look at everything he was doing, He was having, his wife see him, come visit him, and 3 other women come visit him. He had a Congress lady come visit him, and lawyers, and his kids, and all that, like food, all that helps you. You get me? And you ain't getting that, in these prisons. It's not gonna be like that special for them.
Let me ask you quickly. You've stated over and over again. Once we're done with you, we're gonna get into the Yoan Grillo, Grillonauts video where he is speaking that he spoke to, and interviewed Frank Perez, Mayo's lawyer, and you've always stood on saying, I don't never think Mayo's gonna talk. Why? Because I don't think there's nothing they can do for him. We've heard reports from Luis Chaparro confirmed from this one and that one and the other one unofficially and officially and all this bullshit, right? But the story we're going to get into is basically reinforcing what your original thought was that the old man ain't going to talk. Also, we already spoke on the demands that he made, right? Or have you not spoke? If you could touch on that too, the demands that he made to Mexico to come get me.
Yeah. So I as I said before, my thoughts haven't changed on, my operating. I felt like he wasn't going to cooperate. I feel like, he's the wiser one. He's the more of a, like, I just see, because I know him, I think that his personality always been like either, he wanted to die before he was captured, or he actually knew what could happen. And he's seen, all of these people that have been arrested, including Chapo a few times. He's seen what happens to him, he got to understand, from like sitting as a spectator, right, what would happen to him. And, I heard all these reports, and I've talked to journalists myself, and and I would, say I don't believe it, and they're like, "Oh, it's 100% confirmed. We know that people are telling me this," and you know, he already started doing a list. And I remember one journalist in particular did say that it could have been like a churning proffer, like tell me what you got and let's try to negotiate. But like there is no negotiation, He wasn't gonna, like basically this way, I'm selling. What are you, but they're not gonna pay the price. The government doesn't care, They're not gonna give you a nice prison cell, because they don't have that authority. Or they're not gonna let them out, and that's what you don't want to, do is get let out of prison. That's not gonna happen. And I think that you never know what could happen tomorrow. But even him sending that letter, like as soon as I seen that his lawyer sent that letter, I'm like, he's not cooperating, because he would be threatening the government of Mexico, and the United States would never have, if he was sitting down with them, the government would not, ever sanction that the lawyer go and threaten,
Right.
the country, which, they're probably looking for the information. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I'm going to cooperate against you and then my lawyer comes tells you, like I'm already cooperating against you. They come, hey, Shy, like what you want to do? You want to pay, pay for his commissary, or else he's going to tell on you, in the mix of me cooperating against you. Like that's not just, So I don't believe it. I do think that a lot of information he's going to, either take with him. And if he does cooperate, and I've said this to you, and to everyone many times, he'd be cooperating for his son, But the way it looks like it, his son had a bunch of different opportunities to, do the right thing and cooperate. And instead they're doing worse, and they continue to fight. They continue to, they're getting carried away with all the explosives and, all these things. And the United States is going to keep an eye on that. And he's basically, like Chapo and Mayo sons are not going to have the opportunity to cooperate, you get me, anymore. And I could see Mayo basically maybe cooperating for his son, eventually.
Right.
And, not getting no credit, in return. But, I'm going to stand by it until I see you otherwise, And I don't think that's going to happen. And I think you could agree, right, Shai? I mean, I just, I put everything on the table and it's like there's no need for it. There's nothing that he's going to gain from it, Now, all these other guys right now, all the big tough dudes, as a matter of fact, you know what? If you can right now, why don't you pull up, like this dude, like the set that, what is it, the Z40, I think it was 42. If you pull it up, I sent you videos, and I told you one time, I said, people always talk about snitches and this and that, and here's the, ruthless cartel boss. He didn't even offer him a cooperation agreement. He goes on TV and he's, they're interviewing him and he's telling them everything he was doing, Because in Mexico, when they grab you, bro, they're not being nice to you. You get me? Like the military officials that grab you, that arrest you, right? They're the real deal. You get me? They're gonna do what they gotta do to make sure you respect them and talk to them. And if you go on the line, there's a when people get arrested, they basically debrief them. And that's like remember like the Barbie video, Remember the Barbie video where he's getting debriefed? He has the I think it's both of them have it, but I think it's 40. He's getting debriefed and he's telling them everything, He's going down the list, And he didn't even get no credit for that. So
he was just talking the talk. What the fuck is that? Is it clout? Is it? The fuck is it? Salute to y'all. Hundreds up in the chat for y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Appreciation to Jay for his time. Jay, you got anything else you want to touch on?
Man, I feel like it's almost surreal, bro, that this like is happening like in at this time, especially with everything I'm doing. And it's like it just kind of goes to show, right, that um, anything's possible, in any way. And I think that's going to be great for the Mexican people, bro. That there's going to be some change coming. That Mexico could be the place where you want to go and live because it's going to be safe. I don't think it's going to stop drug trafficking, but I do believe that's going to make them, act differently, right? Find new ways of getting, running their organizations, and it'll be a safer place. You never know. I might be able to go back to Mexico one day. The way it's looking. So, yeah. So let me know. I can't see any more questions, right? So you want me to answer some questions before I go? Let me know.
Well, you just answered one. Upper echelon, do you feel safer now that all this is going down? Let me go
Do I feel safe?
safer.
Uh, I don't know if I'm ever going to feel safer, but it's kind of the position I've taken, right, Shai? Like, we talked about this all the time. I worry more about the people here trying to make a name for themselves than anything, but those people got so many issues and so many problems with their own that, but I think that some of the people that are still, I'm not in really good terms, are still free right now, causing havoc. So maybe until they're done with, then I'll, feel safer.
Say they do send Mayo back because he was arrested illegally. Wouldn't that just give the U.S. the incentive to actually go into Mexico?
They don't need an incentive. Their incentive is clear. They made it clear. They're never going to send him back. If Mexico came and said we're going to go to war, they're going to be like, before they even stop saying that, they fucking drop a bomb and be like, he is not worth it. Okay, he's not that important. And it's like too bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it happened.
Yeah, it happened. Too bad. I think that they're going to ask for the extradition of his, of Chapo's son, which is Joaquin. If he ever gets out or whatever, because he broke the laws or whatever, but that ain't gonna happen.
Go back a little bit.
It's almost funny to me that people would even ask that. It's like we're talking about the biggest drug lord in history of drug trafficking.
But you also just said he's not so important. Whatever happened. It is what it is.
What I'm saying, that the United States will let him go. You get me?
Right.
And be like, oh yeah, here's here's our prized possession back. It was a mistake. No. At the end of the day, it's politics, right? It's politics, man. They're like, you win some, you lose some, And at the end of the day, like, we could love Mexico, you could love Puerto Rico, but the United States is the United States, period. That's it,
America.
It's America, man. Come on,
We should take their bank account as part of the extradition too, so the family could just start doing what their dad does. And Darkly Noon also brought up, he says it's going to be expensive to house all of these criminals that they're extraditing over here.
I thought about that. I said, damn. I said, all these prosecutors and all these court dates, it's gonna get expensive. But guess what? I'm gonna tell you, they collect gold. I've seen that they got a couple plans that they're saying that they might close down a few of the camps and put those people on house arrest, right? Hopefully they'll change some of the laws and it'll benefit people who are non-violent and other criminals, and they could work it out. But I'm sure that's an expense they're willing to pay, because I think the message it's what has its value, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The message is saying, like, holy shit. And I think that, to me, I'm just like really, really feeling it, because I just never thought it was gonna happen. Remember, I was one of those dudes over there that said, as long as I'm in Mexico, I'm good,
Right.
And then to see this, it's like, damn.
Shout out Snicker Season. He said, hold on, I lost it. Where is it? He said, hasn't it already come out at Mayo in talks to get a plea deal? Well, Snicker season, we're going to cover that when we're done with Jay. Yoann Grillo has a different set of stories. And guess what? To me, every day, more and more, Yoann Grillo is becoming my favorite journalist on the subject, because it doesn't sound like I've never had to question the shit that dude said. You know what I'm saying? And all this other shit, he's going against it that we're hearing from people who supposedly confirm everything. So
yeah. You know what? I'm gonna tell you what, Young. He's a great journalist, right? He's not so personal, like he doesn't like I feel like he doesn't put too much of his personal opinion into his stories, right? Mm-hmm. He was a great contender to write the book. I wish he would have wrote our book. He goes more in depth into like, some of the stories. He's a investigative journalist, so he's out in the field as well. But yeah, I think he just, this is coming from attorney again, right? We could all be wrong. This is coming from his attorney right now. There's a big uproar, Shai, just in case you don't know, is that now they went and they found all these pictures with, Mayo's attorney, and, the old president, and now Ms. Scheinbaum as well. And man, they're going at her so bad. And they're basically saying that that she was like, they're friends with these, most of, I think two of Mayo's attorneys.
Everybody's in cahoots.
Yeah, but I don't know just because they take a picture. I mean, absolutely, right. You know that there's a relationship, but I don't know if it's like that. But the other political party in FAN in Mexico, oh my God, man, they're going hard. I would tell you something, man. Some of those congressmen, or from Mexico, the ones that are from the PAN, Shai, man, it's like hearing them speak, and I don't know if there's too much background on them. Damn, they make me like proud to be Mexican at times because they're going so hard.
They got your vote, bro?
Bro, they're going so hard about, drug traffickers and corruption and attacking, politicians. And they're like, yeah, you know what? We're glad the United States is helping. We're going to get rid of, all you corrupt officials, and you guys don't want to go to jail. And you get me? And it's like, it's insane.
Listen, something has to happen when you got a place where young women, in protest, try to be the sheriff of a town and get unalived brutally for their protest. You know what I mean? Like, some shit got to change when the people got to eventually stand up when they're getting stomped out, bro.
Yeah, you know what, Shane? That's what I think it is. Like, I could be a hypocrite too, right? Because I was part of that problem, right? And I say it all the time. It wasn't as bad as it was today, but it's like there's so many innocent people that are affected, right? That people could kind of glorify, everyone that think about it, all the innocent people that, get unalive and all the stuff that goes on that, is directly linked to, some of these organizations like that, all the potential people that's going to save, right? And I know I just got to see that someone was saying that they're not going to drop bombs in Mexico. I was just exaggerating that term right there. I was not really meaning they're going to drop bombs. I'm just saying that,
It was metaphorical.
Yeah.
Shout out Yayo. So, and we've had people in the comments since I dropped the Ivan escaping through the tunnel videos. People have been saying, "Oh, fake news. That wasn't him." Baby. Well, we don't know nothing. To me, everybody's lying, and we cover everything. So take it with a grain of salt. But he says, "So do y'all think it was Ivan who escaped in the tunnels? Seemed like he would have been on the first flight out of Mexico if he was caught."
Do I think it was Ivan that escaped? I mean, every report says that it was him. I mean, it makes sense. Again, right? They said because dude is cooperating. I think with due cooperation and the military intelligence, that the probably CIA is doing, on Mexico, for sure. I do believe it was probably him, and I could imagine what type of life he's living right now, in hiding, right? But I think it's going to catch up to him unless he's really able to go and be a castaway somewhere. Like,
I don't know, man. It's glamorous on his Instagram. It's all glamour on there, boy.
Yeah, until they find the right person who's doing that shit, with all that tech, then, you're gonna be able to see it. But we'll see. We'll see. But I do think that he's gonna be in hiding. I think they're gonna be on his heels. I'm more curious to find out when they're gonna start putting that pressure on Mencho, and his organization. I know it's coming though. That's for sure. The United States is not like Mexico. They don't pick and choose. They have their list, and I think that they're gonna really, really like clamp down on them, and we're gonna be seeing something, on Mencho and his organization soon.
Shout out Lupe. He said Mini League fucked it up for any future rats. You think Mini League, what he did, put a damper on these guys being able to cooperate?
Absolutely not. No, I mean, I do think that it could sway the mentality of a judge or something, right? But I think it's an individual basis, right? The government sits down in front of you, and they basically, they're the ones that are going to determine what your cooperation is, and make a recommendation to the judge, and the judge sits down and sees all the facts, and then they decide. And I think that, to us, just because we see it, it's like, damn, it could affect it, sure, but not like on an individual case, right? I think that just because common knowledge is like, like if people know, they're like, damn, well, this ex-cooperator, took advantage and did this or whatever. But I don't think that the judge is gonna decide someone's time on that. But I think this, I want to make a point, because people always think that it's like one way, Shy, right? Mm-hmm. It always depends on the individual, right? When someone says, damn, Twins, you got robbed, you should have not got that time, dude, because stupid people got, look how stupid they were, they got 14 years, right? They just don't understand we're not at that level, like, the United States attorney, the judge attorney, that. You get me?
You guys weren't built for that shit, man.
What I'm saying is that it's different, levels for different people, just to give you an understanding, like even when we say Chino Anthrax, right? Mm-hmm. He got 5 years, bro, 6 years.
Crazy.
Think about it, like, and just saying, because the crime he did, or the people he was killing and the people he was responsible for doing was in Mexico, right? It was a little bit different. But Miles' other son got 5 years, mm-hmm. Who was really not involved like that. And it's like, when it comes to cooperating, when it comes to the charge, it all depends on who are the individuals, who are actually doing it, and then what you could actually provide. So that does, that's important as well. But I think it's on an individual basis, and each case is different, and each judge is different, right?
Right.
So we'll see. But I just don't know, like, what happens. Are these even? That's I want to know. I'm going to start asking that question. Like, are the prosecutors are they going to be willing to negotiate some type of term, with some of these people that you just brought over? That's what I want to see, but we'll find out. And I guess this is the beginning, of change, right?
I mean, it's something. Something's happening. It's not looking good. It's a giant war happening in Sinaloa. You got all of these bosses getting extradited to the U.S. You got the old man here. In a cell. Like, it's a very different look today than it looked just 365 days ago.
Damn, like think about that. Think about everything that has happened, in the last, year, right?
Yeah.
It's moving quickly, and it's moving quickly, and I think that at least, on this side, like, for all the people that are not part of the life, they should look at this as something good, I don't know if it's just gonna, how this is gonna affect, like, drug trafficking, in terms of, like, the demand. Like, I seen this, like, report today that I seen that they're speaking to, like, someone who's like a pill popper, and he said he would take an average of like 50 pills a day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know how that works. Like I don't know, but like 50 pills a day.
Yeah, man.
Damn, bro.
Some of these dudes is, got a lot of time invested. Got a, the body done took on some miles and they got a tolerance built up.
I just had no idea, and then and then we'll see someone. It's not. It doesn't matter what kind of terms you guys. It determines on what type of charges you have and who you are and what's your background. And Ashad, you know what you didn't? I haven't seen you cover. Did you see that law enforcement officer from Riverside, California, the one that was trafficking the drugs for the Sinaloa cartel?
I did catch that in my peripheral.
He got probation, bro.
Yeah, we got to definitely get into that story. I did see that story. I just
He
didn't know
got
that's what it was.
probation. I was like, I will tell you something. I have a law enforcement officer friends. They were pissed. Like, what? Probation? Bro, it's insane.
Probation. All right, let me see. I think we all caught up, bro. We all caught up.
I mean, what are your thoughts, Shai? I want to ask you, what are your thoughts about this?
On what? On all? I feel like the extradition stuff. I feel like it's akin to the sending the troops down there to the border. When he threatened that tariffs the first time. I think that 25% is scaring everybody more more than anything else. You know what I mean? Well, at least to the government. What else?
But I guess these are real actions. But you know what? I want to talk about something else. I seen people mention about would they send some of these guys to El Salvador, right? Now they're not going to send them to El Salvador. These people are powerful. Let's not forget that. Again, they ain't going to do that in the U.S., but they'll try it in another country. They're going to end up sending them to Cuba, Guantanamo Bay somewhere. I could see them doing that, and don't forget the Z's. They were like military people before, so maybe they probably belong there. But yeah, I don't think it's a game now. I think that people always say, "Well, don't believe everything Trump says." But what do you mean? It doesn't matter what he says or why he does it, or if he does it for good reason.
Right. At the end of the day, it still does it does what it does, serves whatever purpose it's gonna serve. But I'm not gonna I don't feel like they cut the head off no snake taking a bunch of guys that ain't in charge no more.
Nah, but don't think that they're not. They just don't have, there's someone else in their place and they change their names and stuff, but they're still powerful, you get me?
Right.
They still run stuff through prison and they're still them, you get me?
But now they're not.
Well, how they're gonna run it? That's it.
That's it, right? So now they're here, and that dude that I was just talking about, that there's another new guy in charge. That's the guy doing this thing now.
Yeah, but the new guy in charge, because that's what everyone's asking. Like, if you cut one head off, how many more are gonna come in their place, right? I think it's just gonna be different now, Shai. You get me?
Right.
Like you're seeing people's heads really get knocked off. You get me?
Right.
And now it's like, think about it, bro. Like, in order for you to run an organization, you gotta have intelligence, right?
Right.
And I always used to tell this one in prison, like people who got locked up, I used to be like, "What did you do different from the last guy?" You get me? From the people you looked up to, most of them, 99% of them said nothing. I did the same shit, and that's why you're in jail, just like the same, old guy. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that those guys are out there are gonna want to like do different,
Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna want to they want to survive, and they're gonna see that pressure in the government. Like no one was gonna want to take the place of the golf cartel or the stuff. You get me?
Right, motherfuckers is gonna know that they could end up on a plane just as quick. It ain't just I'm gonna be in Mexico eating steaks. I'm going to an ADX somewhere.
Exactly. It's like, come on, and I think we're seeing. So just big shout out to Pierre, who's an avid listener of yours, Shai. He out there working, getting it. He let me know that the dude that was charged with the guns and for
Going to crossing the border into Mexico.
crossing the borders, he was going to be charged with he supporting material support for of a terrorist organization. He's a mandatory minimum sentence of 20 years.
God damn. Hold on. We're gonna have to give this drop for him.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
You done fucked up.
You know, and I mean, you know, if it was a hood and you got caught with one of those rifles, you still are gonna look at 10 years. You know, I will tell you, I did see. If you look up, you know what? Look up this other charge because I think this person right here, he should have been charged with that. It was a guy from, I want to tell you, Washington, right? And he's a Caucasian guy. I think he only got like 7 years or something, 12 years. He got caught with like, I want to tell you, like 5 rifles, silencers, handguns. He had a utility vest. A bulletproof vest. I think he only got 7 years. And I was like, wait, he got silencers right there, you know?
Yeah, I'm
silencer, you.
Go ahead. Yeah, he got silencers. He definitely should be super popped.
Yeah, he should be super, super pop, right? You know, you get caught with a silencer, you know, in the hood or a rifle, one of those ARs, and you know, you're gonna get a 10, you know, piece, you know, probably. So.
Shout out Raven Jefferson on the check-in. Salutes to you. Appreciate you. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so, y'all. Fernando said, to me, it's a game till we actually see change. Could it maybe, but until then, can't say this is legit. And I mean actual long-term results.
What do you mean? But Fernando, what do you mean? This is change. You're looking at it. You're seeing it. This never happened in the last
Right, it never happened.
40
This
years.
is a precedent.
Like,
a precedent has been set.
You know, you've seen it because they sent Chapo, right? You know? And because, I mean, what else could they have done? He already has escaped twice, you know? Twice.
Right.
And it's like, but now it's like, you're seeing all these things happen with your own eyes. So it's like, you know, now what's it going to do to the drug trade? That's different. You know, that I agree with you. But you're seeing the things happen, you know, right before your eyes.
Right. A precedent has been set. History, some kind of history has been made. Because this shit ain't never been done before. They weren't just turning motherfuckers over.
Don't forget, this guy, Rafael Quintero, he's been like convicted basically in the United States already, right?
That's what I was just gonna say. If there was somebody that they was gonna send years ago, it would have been that guy, because the pressure was on them over the Kiki Camarena situation.
Now think about this. They arrested Rafael Caro Quintero in the same year, right? That within months after Kiki Camarena, and they couldn't extradite him. They couldn't bring him to justice.
Right.
Like, that's the difference. And I think that we're like, for those who don't know, and I'm gonna say maybe, you know, Fernando, I know that you're always, you know, involved in different channels and you're always like paying attention. Like for those who don't know, they're just not gonna know, right? I mean, you're slapping them in the face with it, but they're still gonna doubt it. For those who do know that now, like, you know, for me and, you know, who understands it, who's been involved, it's like, damn, you know, it's like historical. It's, you know, it's still hard for me to.
If you were in the game, this was a moment that was gonna fuck your mind up.
Yes, you know, for sure.
Talking about cartels that have been around forever. Now all of this has happened, for sure. History in the making. Absolutely. Fernando said, I acknowledge that something happened, but to me, it's about long-term results. By no means am I defending these guys either.
No, I don't. We don't think you're defending them. I just think like it's long-term results, but it starts with actions. And right now, actions are being taken that never been taken before. You know, all along since President Trump has came in, right, and everything he's doing, there are actions that no one has taken. He's, you know, clamping down on the government. You know, the White House basically let a statement, basically acknowledging. You know, they didn't, you know, say it could have been a maybe or, you know, or said allegedly. They basically said that the government of Mexico was a narco government, you know?
They pointed their finger right in their fucking face.
You know, that, like, the fact that they did that, you know, we might think that they're just words, but that's like, you know, we all know it's true, but like, damn, you know, finally someone had the guts to kind of basically say it to their face, you know?
Right. Zaz said, what's crazy to me is CJNG is basically untouched and they've gained so much power in short time.
Um, yeah, I don't, like I said, I think that everyone's gonna get their, the reckoning,
Every dog has his day.
every dog's gonna have a day, and I think that he's gonna have a little bit worse than them, because of his how violent he is, because uh, of his military type cartel, and he doesn't give a fuck.
Right. Let's see. All right, y'all. Any more questions? It's a wrap. It's popping. It wasn't a short time though. Mencho been around since Cartel de Milenio and was amongst heavy hitters. Every dog has his day.
Yeah, but yeah, but he wasn't. The millennial was like basically like your old Sinaloa. You get me? But he wasn't the boss. You get me? So.
Now that I think about it, that Grillo Knot shit, he has to be involved in that. That's his last name now that I think about it. Yohan Grillo and that fucking Grillo Knot YouTube channel.
Why is that? You're talking about his? Is it a YouTube channel or no?
You know the Grillo Natas channel?
No, I don't think that's him.
Man, why is his name on it? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is a Grillo Nata?
Because that's true. You got a good point, but he has his own little
I know, but I think he's partnered up over there because his name. It seems like what is a Grillo Natas? What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know what that means. I've always wondered.
Out of Pal said cartels like sport teams. They each got an era, like the Cowboys, Patriots, Bulls, stuff. All fall like Zetas had their time and era. Lil Mencho begging for mercy in court.
You know what? Oh man, you want to talk about something? That's one good subject you should bring up. If you go to the transcripts of El Menchito, right, and there's a report where right now, there's a YouTube video with Luis Chaparro and my friend Angel. Oh my God, man, I'm sorry, Hernandez. Okay, and they talk about the Menchito trial, okay, and some of the stuff that came up on there, like him actually slicing, guys' necks off. He killed 4 people, I think, or 3 guys. They owed him money and they didn't have it, so he basically, cut their, sliced their throats, and all the things that he did. He ordered about, when he ordered the military to be, airplane to be shot down, and so many things. Okay, he goes into detail about. But then I was like shocked that his wife wrote a letter saying that he was a man of God and he was such a good, loving father, and all kinds of stuff. And now looking at him from the outside, looking in, it's like, I get it now. I've been through the sentencing, when your family sending letters of, about you and stuff like that. And it's like, really? You want to tell me about who he is? And, and on the other side, he was doing this. Mm-hmm. You get me?
Right.
And some of the stuff that his wife said, it was like, I don't know, man. Hard you want to speak up and you'd want to write those letters, but it's like the fact that they were talking about a person who was like a kid,
right?
Because they say he's so nice, he's such a good father, and
they enabled him to be the monster that he is.
It just reminded me of me and my family, and I just think like how different perspective I have now,
Yeah.
Because that all those years I used to be like, man, I'm not that bad, because I was always comparing myself to, these people who who I was associated with. Yeah, who I was associated with, and my, family and everyone, would write letters and, do all that. And I get it now, I get it because I was like, damn, did they really write these things,
That's why I take everybody with a grain of salt, man. Because at the end of the day, no matter what piece of shit he was, when he's in that box, somebody gonna be crying for him. And you know, whatever. Monsters are monsters, you know?
Yeah, and I guess because I know that you do believe in redemption. We do believe in second chance, and I always had this conversation with people that were close to me. That that did crimes. At one point, but none of them ever said, "I'm not guilty" or "I shouldn't be punished like that."
Right.
No one. The people I was always good with, like they never said that.
Right.
They're always like, you know, accepted what they did and hoped and prayed for a second chance. I will tell you something. There's so many individuals that I was around that are doing amazing, that really changed their life around and are doing great things,
Right.
and wanting to do more and give back. But at the same time, it's like, some of these people, is like, I get it, man. It's like, I've never been in that situation where I was going to send people to get killed or kill people myself. And I think I didn't have to live with that, even though I did, destroy a lot of people's family, I destroy a lot of families. I understand that as well. But again, Rashad, when we talk, look, I think I've been getting a lot of like comments and stuff that when I talk about my stories, like, that no one wants to feel sorry for me or something like that. And I'm always like, I don't need you to feel sorry for me. I'm just telling you what I felt. You get me?
Right.
Regardless if you did wrong or not, if you did something, to cause yourself pain, it's like you still feel the pain. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Let me see. Shout out to where is it at? Let me get up here real quick. Shout out to William Palmer, another awesome show. Driving my big rig across this amazing country, listening to the most informative show. Thank you both. Keep up the great work. Salutes to you. Safe travels, sir. I appreciate you. All right, safe travels.
Yeah, man. Big shouts out to you, man. Safe travels out there on the road, man.
Let's see. Shout out Fernando. We helping him power through work. Look at the sob stories of Gennaro Garcia Luna. He's now an elite GED teacher in prison. How many videos of meetings you think Mayo has with the government? La Tuta was known to film his meetings. I don't think Mayo like cameras.
Yeah, I don't. They're smart people. Who do use leverage.
And we're gonna talk about in the next segment. We're gonna talk about his movements and what he's going through what he's doing right now, and the idea that he's not as sick as everybody seems to think he is, and that whatever his lawyer said, you take it all with a grain of salt. Excuse me, sir. We will put you in the fucking bathroom.
Put him in the fucking bathroom.
What happened?
You put the fucking bag of Ruffles Have Ridges down. Put the bag down, step away, take 10 paces away from the fucking bag. All right, everybody, hit the like button. All right?
Yeah, big shout out to everyone in the chat, man. The usual suspect as well, and to all you people who are gonna be listening to later. What's up? And we'll see, man. The story continues to unfold and continues to unravel, and I wouldn't be surprised in a couple of days, a couple of weeks, or in the next coming months that we're going to be on here talking about, the unaliving of the Chapillos or the arrest of them.
Shit, might be tomorrow night's live stream. We'll see.
Yeah.
Shout out William Borden on the check-in. All right, Jay, I'll let you get to your Ruffles.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. You guys have a good night, man. Stay
Salutes
safe.
to you. Have a good night. Thank you for your time.
Stay off of drugs and stuff like that.
Salutes to Val. Hashtag Free the Wives in the chat. All right. Salutes to P out there. Salutes to
yeah,
Vivi.
it is what. Yeah, big shout out to my brother and to Val and to Vivi. And right now it's one of those moments where it's just like it's so close but yet so far away. But man, they're being missed, and I'm looking forward to it, man. Can't wait to put this behind us.
Sooner than later. Shout out Zoraida. She said, Jay, what chips are you eating?
I'm not.
Bendiciones, Free the Wives. Don't fucking lie, bro.
I was
Don't
actually
lie.
gonna put the Cheetos away, the flaming chocolate,
Oh,
the
that was
flaming hot
the
away.
flaming hot Cheetos. See, there you go.
I'm not gonna lie. You know what would
That
be
was the
great?
right answer. The wrong answer was I'm not eating Cheetos. The wrong
What would
answer.
be great would be some J's, some hot stuff J's, bro,
You gotta relax.
with some lime. You know, I miss Chicago stuff, bro. You know,
You
yeah,
miss
man. Big
Chicago
shout out
stuff?
to yeah,
Sometimes I miss it. I'm right here.
yeah. Some J's with some hot stuff J's with Sublime. Yeah, I appreciate all the prayers and best wishes to the wives and
Yeah, William Borden said that you built a tunnel to get everybody out the fucking bathroom.
Put him in a fucking bedroom.
He said that you were funding the tunnels to get everybody out the fucking bathroom.
yeah, probably.
All right. Free the wives, hashtag free the wives, salutes. So that's a good choice. Sizzle93 said, I don't think Mayo will ever be caught.
Are they going taking my words because that's what I would say before?
Say it again.
Is that for me? Because that's what I would say before. I don't think Mayo will ever be caught.
I don't know.
It's probably for me.
Quite possible.
I said I didn't think he was ever gonna be caught. I didn't know they were gonna fucking betray him and kidnap him. That's just different. No.
That was a whole different operation there.
Yeah, that was a whole different operation. You know, it's all fun and games until the bunny got the gun, right?
Yeah, there it is.
You know.
All right,
yeah,
man.
well, I appreciate the conversation, and then next time I'll come around, we'll do basically a whole big meet.
You ready to have that conversation? Let's do it.
I really want to get my brother to jump on and have that conversation.
That'd be nice too. I'd love to have P on and have that conversation. Well,
yeah, man.
I'll be live
That
tomorrow
would be
night.
fun. That'll be fun though, Shai. We gotta do that. We gotta look for all those people in the comments.
Time is now. You gotta strike while the story's in the news cycle.
Yup. Right now we're talking about this, but we gotta talk about that for all those people that were always commenting like, yeah, but Big B didn't tell. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't tell though. Let's be honest. He probably wished he told. You get me?
I don't know what he's wishing right now.
Credit.
Right now he's wishing he didn't take a picture with Rick Ross.
You ain't lying, man. You is not lying. I don't even want to say that name anymore. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of questions, Shai, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to that. So we'll get back. We'll see if P will get on it.
Yeah, holla at your
talk
brother.
about
Let's
that.
see what we could do.
So, all right, man, you have a good
Hey,
night.
there's
God
one
bless.
or two things happening very soon. We're only 500 away from 10,000 subs. So it's either going to be the 10,000 sub party or my birthday in March. My birthday stream. So one or the other, we'll figure it out.
When's your birthday?
The 14th.
Okay, it's coming, man.
So whatever that weekend is, whatever the fuck.
Okay,
One of those two things got to happen first, though.
Well,
the
look,
birthday or the
I
fucking
think,
10 stacks.
Look, man, there's 40 people on here, man. You guys know 10 people, 15 people you guys can network and get 500 more subs, man.
They don't want people
Let's
to
make
know
this
that they
happen.
talk about this smut at night.
Like, bro, I'm sure that they, this is better than some of the stuff they be watching in the middle of the night.
Right.
Hey, big shout out to Bordo too. If he listens to this later, I see his interview. He did a good interview.
Yeah, salute to Bordo.
In the Gray Line, and big shout out to Pete too. He did a few different interviews on Borderland. I got an interview with Borderland coming up too. So
salute to Borderland.
Yeah, and big shouts out to Solo Dolo, everyone that's on the chat. Thank you guys. I love you, babe, too, when she listens to this.
Salutes, Val.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll holla.
All right, God bless you. You guys, good night, man.
God bless. Peace.
Bye-bye.
All right. Let me kick him. Boom, move to the stage. Let me kick him. Close this. Salute y'all. Hunters up in the chat for y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging out. All right, this was an impromptu live that wasn't gonna happen tonight. This, we was gonna do our Friday night live, and that was it. But this had to happen, and we're here. All right, we've been here going on 2 hours, 20 from 2. I want your channel to grow, but I want more people here because then our comments get skipped, especially if the bar is open. So you look forward to it. It's definitely going to happen. But by then, people should be here. Every time there's a wave of new people that are consistent and be around, they either get wrenched up or this or that, and I'm able to differentiate. They'll always get priority around here. So, shout out Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Buenas noches, chat. Cut alive. Yay. Salutes. We appreciate you. We missed you. Glad you're here. Salutes. All right. Boom. Growth. Y'all trying to hold my channel back so that y'all could be heard? Come on, man. The fuck? Put him in a fucking bedroom. No, mommy's wake.
Mono con los ojos tapados.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
All right. I want to get into this Ian Gritto video before we get out of here. It's a 15-minute video, and I have to do some, what's it called? Translating. William Border said, can you do the tank fight? When's the tank fight? It's coming up, ain't it? Saturday? We shall see. Maybe. Quite possibly. I want to enjoy that fight, so but I might go live for that one. We'll be here during the growth, bro. All right, salutes. Let's get it, all right? Así pasa sus días el Mayo en la prisión de los Estados Unidos. This is how Mayo passes his day in prison in the United States, all right?
El periodista experto en temas de seguridad Joan Grillo recientemente entrevistó al abogado del Mayo Zambada Frank Pérez, quien le dio detalles sobre su salud.
Joan Grillo recently interviewed the lawyer of El Mayo Zambada. Fernando says, Shy, I'm putting myself out there that if a deal goes down for me a little later this year, I'm buying you a new expensive top mic. Nothing wrong with the mic, but to keep the channel going. Salutes to you, bro. I appreciate you. But let me know if my mic is fucking up. Salutes. Actually, not worth it. Tank fight. Cherry picked. What is it? Mandatory or something? That's what it is. Business.
Su situación legal y le reveló cómo
he interviewed the lawyer of El Mayo upon his legal situation.
Transcurren sus días al interior del centro metropolitano de Brooklyn en Nueva York.
And he spoke to him on what his daily movements are in the Metropolitan Federal Prison of New York. I've been here from when the Trends first season. Salutes.
En entrevista con Luis Cárdenas en MBS Noticias, Joan Grillo reveló que el Mayo se encuentra recluido en una celda de alta seguridad donde permanece en aislamiento.
Joan Grillo said Mayo's in a solitary, high security cell.
Y recibe visitas diarias de sus abogados.
And receives visits daily from his lawyer. Remember what Jay said. Them lawyers show up every day. You know, they got to give you something to do, right? Get you out of that, cell and into the room. They there every day. That's what you get paid the big bucks for, all right? And if you could bring my baby mama, then bring my baby mama.
Frank Pérez le dijo que estas reuniones son clave para que el Mayo no pierda la estabilidad mental.
Frank told him that these conversations are so that Mayo doesn't lose his mental stability. So he wants to have these daily meetings with him to, keep him moving and engaged mentally. All right? He don't got many years left. I wouldn't say nothing.
Tras estar confinado solo por largos periodos de tiempo y que en dichas reuniones, el Mayo...
Yeah, he wouldn't want him to be, without speaking to somebody from the outside world in a long period of time.
Mayo habla sobre política y sobre su vida en el rancho.
He said during these conversations, Mayo talks about politics and his life on the ranch.
Platica de la política, de lo que sucede en México y en Estados
Unidos. He talks about Mexican politics between the United States and America and the USA. I mean, Mexico and the United States.
Estados Unidos y de sus ganados allá en sus ranchos, agregó Joan.
And that he talks about, his gains on his ranch.
Grillo. Sobre su estado de salud, el abogado le comentó que solo padece diabetes y recibe
As far as his health goes, his lawyer said he's only he only suffers from diabetes. He doesn't have the C word.
Tratamiento médico. No tiene cáncer, como se había reportado antes, ni leucemia, tiene diabetes, pero está recibiendo tratamiento, le dijo Frank Pérez.
He says he's got diabetes, but he's receiving treatment.
El abogado también le reveló a Joan Grillo que cuando el Mayo fue llevado a Estados Unidos tras su secuestro en julio de 2024, se encontraba en estado de shock.
He also said that when he was snatched and brought to the United States, he was in a state of shock.
En otra parte de la entrevista, le mencionó que el Mayo no tiene interés en cooperar con la justicia estadounidense porque
And he said that Mayo has no interest in cooperating with the United States government.
acepta que morirá en prisión.
That he's come to the conclusion that he's ready to, drift off into the upper room in prison.
Reveló que la principal estrategia de defensa en este momento es evitar la pena capital, ya que
He revealed that their main objective in their defense is to avoid capital punishment. Oh, his cattle. There you go. My bad. His livestock. Salutes. That's what he was talking about, not gains. His livestock on his ranch. Thank you. The lawyer just trying to to get to write a book later. Quite possible. He probably gonna do that shit anyway, no matter what he creates for the story. Gotta be crazy for him because he's never been to jail. No, and he's enjoyed, even on his run, because everybody thought he's running with a backpack. He's enjoyed life of montañas and ranchos and shit. He only got 10 years left in him. He's 77. So their main objective is to avoid the termination penalty.
a diferencia de otros casos como el del Chapo Guzmán, no hubo una extradición formal de México a Estados Unidos.
He said, unlike Chapo, there wasn't an official extradition between the U.S. and Mexico.
Su abogado le aseguró que hasta el momento, el Mayo no ha hablado con las autoridades, ni...
And the lawyer said that up to the moment, on the contrary to what Luis Chaparro said, this guy's credibility goes farther and farther with me, right? But why? Why should it? Because why should I believe the lawyer too? You know what I'm saying? If everybody's bullshitting. But it seems like every time, now this is Joan Grillo. That's what makes me say that Luis Chaparro's credibility keeps sliding with me. Because, man, dog, every time he says something, somebody come the next day and say, nah, that ain't it. This is it. The attorney's like heading to talk to my Mexican buddy who isn't getting out. Oh, yeah. It's my daily stroll through the, What did I say, homie? Miles going back to Mexico. That's not what we just said. Nobody sat here and said Miles going back to Mexico. Huh? Maybe. Most likely. Nah. Ain't you the same guy that said he wasn't never going to get caught? Come on.
No, mommy's wait.
You even tried to convince me that wasn't the real him. Come on.
No, mommy's wait.
What are you talking about, Michael? Salutes.
Ni ha iniciado ningún proceso de cooperación.
All right, so he's saying no cooperation has happened. He hasn't talked to nobody. He hasn't started no process of cooperating. None of the above.
Mayo no ha hablado con las autoridades, ni ha iniciado ningún...
I'm telling you, he is. You also told me that he wasn't gonna get caught. Okay? I'm just saying. You know as much as we know, papas. Maybe less. You know what I mean? It is what it is. We appreciate you, though. Michael Moreno's biggest fan. Look at that snout, bro. He was Tony Montana on a pile of grade A Colombian. Boy. That boy was like...
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Ningún proceso de cooperación. Tampoco se ha convertido en informante ni ha brindado información sobre políticos, funcionarios o integrantes.
And he said he hasn't become an informant or given up anything on politicians.
Desde el crimen organizado.
Or the criminal organizations.
Subrayó que su familia sigue en territorio mexicano, lo que representa un factor clave para su decisión de mantenerse en silencio. Tiene negocio.
What I guess he said his people in Mexico is why he's staying silent.
Integrantes del crimen organizado. Subrayó que su familia sigue en territorio mexicano, lo que representa un factor clave para su decisión de mantenerse en silencio.
Oh yeah, that his people are still in Mexico, so that's a big reason why he got nothing to say. Shout out Guillermo Pac on the check-in. He gonna get out. He gonna go out a G. That's what he's saying here.
Silencio. Tiene negocios y familiares en México, no tiene sentido que se arriesgue, dijo Frank Pérez a Joan Grillo.
He has businesses and family in Mexico that he doesn't want to risk.
Buen día, siempre un gustazo. Saludos al auditorio.
Gracias, Juan. ¿Qué te dijo?
What's up, man? Yohan Grillo got better Spanish than me? Fuck is wrong with this guy, man? He definitely got better Spanish vocabulary than me.
Buen día, siempre un gustazo. Saludos al auditorio.
Gracias, Juan. ¿Qué te dijo Frank Pérez? Cuéntanos.
Bueno, fue muy interesante la plática. Estuvo más de 2 horas con él. No ha dado una entrevista larga así desde tomó el caso del Mayo Zambada en julio.
It was a very interesting conversation. It was a long conversation. He hadn't had a long conversation like that since Mayo went down in July. Could they release him the same way they did Dr. McCain? I don't know. I don't think so.
Y platicamos pues todos los detalles del caso. Pero lo
He said, and we talked on every detail of the case.
más fuerte, un punto es que él dice que no es cierto que ha cantado al Mayo.
He said, but the most important and the main issue was he was making it clear that he did not start singing.
Dice que el Mayo no ha dado ninguna información de otros narcotraficantes, de políticos corruptos.
That he's giving no information on politicians or narco criminals.
A los agentes o a los fiscales de
To the agents or to the police or to the government.
Estados Unidos. Dice que esto no es cierto. Según hay 2 etapas cuando un narcotraficante, un acusado, convierte en informante. La primera etapa se llama en inglés profa. Una profa es una plática que siente el narco.
He's saying usually you got to get a proffer when you're going to cooperate. You got more spice in your Spanish, bro. His ass sound like El Gato Los Pantalones.
Tango El Gato Los Pantalones.
I gotta give him credit. He's doing pretty fucking good. Luis Garcido says, saludos, Caro Quintero just arrived in the United States. Salutes to you. So we've been talking about salutes Luis Garcia. Only one boss that did 25 years that's a real G. Willie Falcone Sr. We'll look into it. He lived his life 77 years free. Just sit it out. It's a wrap, bro. Lay your ass back and chill out. All the rest told.
Con los agentes y plática más o menos indica qué información tiene, contra quién.
And the proffer pretty much indicates what kind of information you got.
Contra cuáles políticos.
Against which politicians, against which criminals.
¿Qué puede ofrecer? Después de esto se pasa a una cuestión legal que va a ofrecer la justicia para la persona que beneficia.
Okay, then after the proffer, then it's what's the person going to get in benefit of giving this information.
Y luego se va dando más información y más completo, grabado, que podría ser testigo en un caso contra alguien. Pero según no ha pasado ni uno.
He said none of those steps have been taken yet.
Y ni otro. Y según el abogado Frank, no va a pasar cuando no le interesa.
And he said he's not interested in the future. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. Shout out Snicker Season. Been a good stream tonight, entertaining. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for hanging out.
Mayo Zambada tiene 75 años.
75 years old.
Dice que va a morir en el reclusorio.
He said he's donezo. He's gonna drift off to the upper room in prison.
Acepta eso. Va a morir en el reclusorio.
He's accepted this.
Entonces no tiene caso, tiene familia en México, tiene negocios en México.
He has family in Mexico. They gave it out to us in the summary, basically. He has family in Mexico. He got businesses in Mexico. He don't want to put none of that at risk.
No tiene caso, realmente. No es como un caso de el Mini League o el Rey Zambada, o incluso su hijo Vicentillo, que son más jóvenes, podrían hacer 5.
It's not a case like Mini League or Vicentillo that they're younger men.
10 años salir.
And they could do 10 years and get out.
En el caso de Mayo Zambada, en Estados Unidos no lo podrían dar 10 años o 15 años. Tiene que dar 30 para arriba y va.
In the case of Mayo, the United States can't give him 10, 15 years. They got to give him 30 and up.
A morir ahí. Esa es la primera cosa interesante. Luego lo dice que si están buscando, incluso podría ser algo pronto, están buscando un acuerdo que se quita la pena de muerte contra él y se acepta, pide culpable, acepta y hace cadena perpetua.
He's trying to work a deal where he pleads guilty, where they take off the death penalty. I believe that's what he said. Well, he's taking a plea then.
Están buscando un acuerdo.
They're looking for a deal.
Luego lo dice que sí están buscando, incluso podría ser algo pronto, están buscando un acuerdo que se quita la pena de muerte contra él y se acepta, pide culpable, acepta y hace cadena perpetua.
So I guess he'll get a life sentence and not the death penalty if he pleads guilty. That's what he's working on. Snicker season, yeah, I think he's my favorite journalist on the subject so far. I've never seen him and said he's just talking out of his ass. Every time there's something questionable, he makes it clear that it's questionable. He don't just talk.
Este acuerdo es porque va en serio la búsqueda de que sea sentenciado, condenado a la pena de muerte, Joan. Esto es porque, corrígeme si me equivoco, pero no fue extraditado, fue secuestrado.
And now they're talking about the fact that because he was snatched and brought here and not extradited, they actually that's why these guys are taking their stance against that penalty in this case, because of how he was taken and how he's up to be put on the chopping block. It's crazy when Mayo says he can't snitch because he has family and businesses in Mexico. Like, who you scared of? There's only one way he'll get life and not death penalty. He don't need his businesses anymore. Damn right he don't. He don't need shit no more. His cows, they done turn them into burger. Cheese on mine.
Y legalmente hablando, lo detuvieron en Estados Unidos. Ahora sí que como si se hubiera cruzado ilegalmente.
But I bet he's scared of the Mexican government.
Lo detuvieron y entonces estando bajo jurisdicción y bajo detención.
He's not so scared of them. He told them, y'all better fucking hurry up and get me out of here before I do something to y'all.
Estadounidense, pues pueden matar al Mayo.
Exacto.
Wow.
Hay dos factores importantes en eso. A este que dijiste, que como en lo general, como el caso del Chapo, a una extradición formal o del Ovidio.
They're just talking about how Ovidio's extradition was formal, Chapo's extradition was formal, and how Mayo's wasn't. So we can skip that.
Porque no existe en México y parte del acuerdo es que lo entregamos a ustedes, pero no puede poner el reclusorio hasta que muere, pero no lo pueden matar. En este caso, como no firmaron porque secuestran aquí, se pasan al aeropuerto cerca del Paso y ahí la entregan a los agentes ahí. Segundo factor, porque antes no tanto buscaban pena de muerte y estaban bien.
He said second point is back in the day they didn't really chase the termination penalty.
Con ponerlos con cadena perpetua.
They would throw the life sentence on them.
Pero que llega el Donald Trump.
But Trump.
El 20 de enero se pone el orden ejecutivo
inmediatamente. He put up the executive order.
Para que los cárteles son grupos terroristas.
So that the cartels are terroristas.
Llega la fiscal Pam Bondi, se pone el 5 de febrero un memorando que dice que queremos eliminación total de los cárteles. Y
that the DA put up a memo that they want total elimination of the cartels.
Queremos penas más fuertes, including
the heaviest penalties, including the termination penalty.
Incluyendo pena capital. Entonces, por esto me dice Frank, no, esto nos preocupa si hay una cosa.
So Frank said that's his worry. That's why their main objective is to just beat the death penalty charge.
Hay una preocupación real de eso y esto es la pelea que la ve. Esto de la carta en México que causa una bomba y que prepara a los abogados de Frank Pérez, es el jefe del equipo de abogados. Tiene los dos abogados en México, tiene varios abogados en Estados Unidos, incluyendo un especialista en pena de muerte ahorita que está
He's saying that Frank is loaded up. He got a bunch of lawyers. They got an ironclad team as far as he's concerned.
El equipo. Pero esta carta es más, su estrategia no es repatriarlo a México. Creo que no es tan realista esta estrategia. No lo van a dar a México, creo.
He believes, and he's saying, I think they're not going to give him back to Mexico.
Sí, no,
es más bien.
¿Es un mensaje al gobierno de México? ¿O qué es?
Is it a message to the government of Mexico or what is it?
Bueno, es una forma de presión.
It's a form of pressure.
Que México pone más para que se pone más puntos para quitar la pena de muerte en Estados Unidos.
Okay.
Yo pregunto, oye, esto es un chantaje,
It's pressure for Mexico. Wait. It's pressure for them to try to get the United States to take the death penalty off the table.
Bueno, es una forma de presión que México pone más para que se pone más puntos para quitar la pena de muerte en Estados Unidos.
Okay.
Yo pregunto, oye, esto es un chantaje, lo están viendo en México como un chantaje, que está como poniendo un chantaje con
What the fuck is a chantaje, y'all? Loves his cattle. His family needs them businesses, facts. Mine reminds me of my late grandpa with his cows like pets. I wonder how political he was, how involved. If he snitches, he's snitching on everything. Lots of issues with legitimate businesses and illegal. U.S. and Mexico will go after it all. No, upper echelon. He's scared of Santa Muerte. Relax, Guillermo Pac. You just be talking. Man, don't think they would even give him a termination penalty. Usually you got to spend some years in prison before it happens. By that time, he'd probably be done. Yeah, I believe that too. Shout out Chucky Chingon. Shout out, check your message. Guillermo, you're right. You gotta get the best blessing I know. Guillermo William Borden, a.k.a. the same guy. Salutes. Blackmail. Blackmail, that's, okay, there you go, thank you.
Gobierno de México.
What's that word again? I gotta keep trying to keep these words in my data banks, all right? Blackmail, chantaje. Thank you, Zoraida. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Zaza. Appreciate you.
Yo pregunto, oye, esto es un chantaje, lo están viendo en México como un chantaje, que está como poniendo un chantaje con el gobierno de México. Es que no es cierto eso, está pidiendo que lo apoyan para quitar la pena de muerte. Si lo ves realmente y lo lees la carta que lo preparan, bueno, al
Give me a sec, y'all.
Mayo, todo eso. Oye, esto es un chantaje, lo están viendo en México como un chantaje, que está como poniendo un chantaje con el gobierno de México. Es que no es cierto eso, está pidiendo que lo apoyan.
So it's not blackmail, that he's just basically asking him for support. You guys keep thinking that the old ways of doing things exist with Donald Trump. Start up the electric chair next week. Right. Donald Trump says, give me 2 hammers and avocado, and I'll do it myself. You guys forgot I've been shot before. Give me 2 avocados and I'll do it myself.
Para quitar la pena de muerte. Si lo ves realmente y lo lees la carta que lo preparan, bueno, al Mayo lo firma la carta, pero lo escriben los 2 abogados mexicanos. Y lo ves ellos, cuando ellos usan la frase, si no lo ayudan, lo van a poner, van a colapsar.
When they use the phrase, if they don't help us, the relations between the U.S. and Mexico will collapse.
Las relaciones, pero están diciendo, el argumento es, a México a fuerza tiene que responder a su tratado.
That Mexico has to enforce their treaty.
Y eso es como más o menos apoya a Gertz Manero en la mañana en la conferencia. Si no apoya a México su tratado, no es respetando y los tratados no existen.
If Mexico doesn't honor it, they're not honoring the extradition treaty.
Este es un colapso de los tratados.
And it's a collapse of them even doing business like that and creating treaties like that.
Más que una
But here's the thing, you a gangster, you talking gangster, miss me with the metaphors. To me, that felt like y'all better come get me, because if y'all don't come get me, I'm going to start raising some hell. That's what that felt like to me. That's what it felt like to me. Miss me with it was metaphorical, you're going to destroy the fabric of the treaties between our countries. Shattered. No, that was Apurense, right?
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Seguro tiene muchísimo conocimiento y seguro hay muchísimo político corrupto que tiene miedo de esas cosas.
And yes, there's a lot of politicians that fear things like that.
Pero según el abogado, según su versión, no está cantando y no quiere cantar.
But according to the lawyer, he's not singing and he don't want to sing.
No cantará salvo nada, Iván. O sea, no está cantando, no quiere cantar y no va a cantar. O sea,
Man, this interviewer want to go to the next level. You're saying he's not singing, he doesn't want to sing, and he's never gonna sing? Like, all right, bro, he just told you that. From what we see right now.
no hay un punto en el cual lo haría.
She said there's not a point where he would. Vamos a ver.
Yo creo que siempre podría ser, ¿no?
He said it's something that could always happen.
Digo, no, eso no dijo el abogado, eso digo yo.
That's not, and I see this is what I like about Joan Grillo. He said that the lawyer didn't say that, I'm saying that, right? Yes, he didn't ask, he demanded.
El abogado dijo que no es eso, pero yo digo que siempre no puede quitarlo de la también el presidente, que su hermano sí fue informante y su hijo sí eran informantes, sí cooperaron.
He said his son and his brother cooperated, so.
Pero según el caso es diferente, otros detalles.
So it's no big deal, you know, in that sense.
Interesantes sobre cómo está ahí y confirmando o quitando datos. Él dice que no es cierto que tiene cáncer. He
said it's not true that he has the C word.
Incluso este es un dato que yo recibí antes, que tenía cáncer, que tenía leucemia. Dice que no es cierto, que no tiene cáncer. El Mayo tiene diabetes. Sí tiene diabetes y está
diabetes. He don't got the C word. Recibiendo
atención médica para su diabetes. Entonces no es un estado como es de punto de morir y pues va a contar todo, ¿no? Dice que está en aislamiento, en un celda de aislamiento en el reclusorio en Manhattan, pero pero recibe visitas diarios del equipo legal.
But he gets daily meetings with his legal team.
Que le pone 1 o 2 horas, o también miembros de la familia, porque
they give him an hour or 2, or with members of his family.
Si no reciben visitas y están en aislamiento, se puede perder la cabeza.
Sí, claro. Because that if he doesn't receive visitation, he might lose his mind.
Como está el Chapo ahorita como solo. Y dice que sí, pues está, cuando dice el Frank Perez, es un personaje interesante. Él,
he said Frank Perez is an interesting character.
Antes fue policía, incluso policía bajo cubierto.
He was a cop, I guess.
Un tejano. En Dallas fue policía bajo cubierto. Y luego ha tratado muchos casos de narcotraficantes. Cuando llega el Mayo Zambada a El Paso, él estaba lavando su auto y recibe la llamada. No, está el Mayo ya. Se va de rápido.
He's saying that the lawyer he was washing his car when he found out that Mayo was on American soil.
Un vuelo, llega y se encuentra el Mayo.
He left, he got there and he found el Mayo.
En choque.
In shock.
Asombrado. Pero luego dice que durante el tiempo, durante los meses ha pasado, ya está.
He said after the time and after the months that had passed.
Está bien, ahorita está viendo el caso.
That he's not shocked anymore, that he's good, that he seems mentally stable.
Platica pues de la política.
He said they talk about politics.
De los dos lados.
Wow.
From both sides, Mexico and the U.S.
Y de sus ranchos y las vacas. Y
talks about his ranches and his cows.
Que tiene el Mayo. Pero sí, pues sí, entiendo que es un jefe de jefes de un cartel que.
And yeah, he's a boss of bosses in a cartel.
Que ha matado a muchísima gente.
That took the lives of a lot of people.
Es un caso muy fuerte, pero.
It's a strong case.
Pero que me dice que él dice que pues hubo mucha mala interpretación sobre el caso que está viendo en los medios y la cosa no es así.
No va a cantar contra los políticos, al menos eso.
She said he's not going to sing against the politicians, is he?
Parece que dice el Mayo.
Is what he's saying.
Que te dice Frank Pérez, ¿no? O sea, no.
Or what Frank Perez is telling you what he's saying.
Cantará y así titulas toda esta crónica. El Mayo no ha cantado. Pero ¿qué tal contra los enemigos? O sea, la traición vino de la familia, ¿no, Iván? O sea,
What about his enemies? Because his betrayal came from family. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so, yo. Honey's up in the chat for y'all.
You don't want no problems.
El hijo del Chapo, Joaquín Guzmán López, lo puso.
His Chapo's son put him
a los Estados Unidos
on American soil.
¿No cantará ahí? ¿No habrá alguna vendetta?
Isn't there some kind of vendetta there?
Te lo pregunto un poco más allá de solamente la conversación que sostuviste con Frank Pérez, o sea...
I'm just asking you further, aside from the conversation you had with Frank Perez. Can we get to 55? Well, we got to 55. All right, cool. We 55. We sit right there. I'm good with that. We can get to 60 before I get out of here. I'll be a happier man, but we good right now.
Estas cosas no quedan impunes, ¿o sí?
Pues están peleando guerra por eso.
He says, listen, man, they're fighting a war over this.
Claro. Y está cobrando la vida de miles de personas.
And it's costing the lives of thousands of people.
Estaba viendo en Sinaloa.
John won. The Twins were never big dogs in Mexico like these dudes. Which dudes? Dudes are you talking about? Oh, you behind on the playback.
Ahorita las cifras, estamos llegando a miles de muertos y desaparecidos desde empieza la guerra. Estamos llegando a miles de muertos y desaparecidos.
He said we're reaching thousands of unalived and missing.
Desde empieza la guerra.
Since the start of the war.
Que está poniendo el hijo de Mayo. Entonces,
shout out, think like a kingpin on the check-in. Salutes.
Una forma sí está cobrando su forma de justicia ahí.
So in a way, he's charging his form of justice right there. He's getting his just due with that.
Según la cosa es que uno piensa, pues, como está en las manos de ellos, debe estar contando todo, ¿no? Pero es como el Chapo.
People think that because he's in their hands, he should just be saying everything. Salute to y'all. Keep hitting that like button.
Ya está condenado. El Chapo, como sabemos, no está dando.
But like Chapo,
información.
Or unlike Chapo,
debe estar contando todo, ¿no? Pero es como el Chapo ya está condenado. El Chapo, como sabemos, no está dando información.
Like Chapo's already been convicted. He's not, from what we know, giving information.
El Chapo a agentes y ya está en cadena perpetua, está en el
he's got a life sentence.
No tiene ningún beneficio que puede recibir.
There's no benefit he can get from it, which to Jay's point. What are they going to give the old man that he don't got, basically?
Que no lo puede usar como cooperante.
That he can't use it like, for cooperation.
Claro. En contraste con el caso, no sé, el gran...
In contrast with Mayo.
El grande que se entra, que se pone informante.
Well, he said in contrast to the one that's, big and gets in there and starts talking.
Se da todo que puede decir. Dice cosas verídicas y inventa cosas para decir.
Sometimes they invent things and say real things and invent things.
Tendencia. y así, entonces, es otro estatus. Sí, siempre es posible. Siempre
It's
es
always
posible
possible. It's always possible.
Que rescatar y en el futuro podría ser, pero pero la cosa que digo es que beneficios. Si tienes 75 años.
He said, well, what benefits? If you're 75 years old.
Una cosa es, podemos decir, el Chapo está en el Supermax, ¿no? Este reclusorio que está en Colorado.
Chapo's en Supermax.
Que está en el desierto, que son condiciones muy fuertes, muy severas. Dice, pues no está en el Supermax y está en un reclusorio
de mediana seguridad. Sí, en Texas.
Sí, con poco, sí, más cerca de familiares, o en California, donde sus hijos pueden ver más fácil, porque Colorado tiene que ir a Denver, luego tiene que manejar 3 horas al desierto, es muy complicado las visitas.
He says very hard to visit Chapo.
Pero según el abogado, él podría intentar conseguir estas cosas en todos modos, por circunstancias, por la edad, por enfermedad y varias cosas, puede intentar recibir esos beneficios. Pero sí, así lo dijo.
Yeah, he said that's how I leave it. What benefits he gonna get from ratting? All right, salute to the chat. So I watched a video where one of the twins were talking like he was a big dog in Mexico, as if they were traffickers in Mexico when they didn't. You're talking to them right now in the chat, bro. And they're telling you. If they choose to respond to you. But how you know they didn't though, John? If you watched the video where one of the twins were talking, like, but how you know they didn't? I'm just asking. All right? Let me get in the chat real quick. Salutes Think Like a Kingpin on the check-in. Think Like a Kingpin. We was making plans with your name in it earlier. Salutes for getting us to the 60 likes. Anybody else that could get us over, that's just the cream on top. All right? Pause. China hater. Of course we weren't. Buenas noches. What up, Think Like Kingpin? What's up, Peter? Guillermo said it's all about the... Where's it at? I lost it. No, it wasn't Guillermo. It was... brother, we don't fight with each other. No, you... Let me see. Here we go. Think Like a Kingpin. No, it's all about the... Millions. Oh, shit. Shout out Think Like a Kingpin for the $99 super chat. Salutes. Let's see if I can click on that. Bah, I can't do it there. Let me do it here. Right. Appreciate you, sir. We was making plans in your name, man, for the 10,000 sub party. All right, let me get in here. Appreciate you for supporting the channel on that level. Salutes. Bow. All right. Put that up there. When are they going to... Jeremiah 29:11. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we're going to go gospel right now, and we're going to read it. Let's see. Let us see. Where is it? Let's see if we can read this right here. I just want the verse. There we go. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Salute to you, Think Like a Kingpin. We appreciate your good words, sir. Married to a Latin woman. I can't say the word party. Yeah, it's like a pizza party. You know what I'm saying? It's just online. We actually did have our own routes, and we shared routes with people. You realize. Usually you pay to use routes from Mexico. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know they didn't have their own routes. John 1, you've eliminated yourself from the conversation because you'll throw that it doesn't take a rocket scientist shit to know in front of everything and anything just to say whatever. And it's like, nah, if you don't know, just say you don't know, man. Don't take a rocket scientist. Same shit people told me, don't take a rocket scientist to know that they're never going to catch Mayo. I'm not trying to hear that shit. All right? Again, salute to Think Like a Kingpin for $99 super chat. $100 super chat. When are they going to go after Mencho's organization? So much further south, probably harder to get info on them. Also, the terrain is rough. I mean, they're running out of people to chase. So, like Jay said, they'll get to them. Did you guys ever build your own carretera de cuota? You can't talk to a guy like that. You can't talk to a guy like that. A guy like that, you know. Salutes to y'all. I'm going to go through the chat. You said I can't do it, so they couldn't have. You couldn't have. Twins have talked about California when they know nothing about it. All right, man. John, it seems like the guy. He hasn't done nothing super out of pocket. He just got an opinion, but he's one of them guys. You know those guys? One of them guys, you can't talk to those guys. But I would love to put him in the fucking bench. All right, let me run through the chat real quick before we get out of here. We've been here 2.5 hours. Shout out Snicker Season, Al the Pal, Zoraida, Omar Carranza, Zaza, Velez. Salutes to Rafael Caro Quintero for coming through tonight. Salutes Fernando. Appreciate you, sir. Salutes for the Venmo. Saw your Venmo. Thank you, sir. Shout out Al the Pal. Come on, man. This thing gets jammed up over here, man. Rafael Caro Quintero says, Shai, me gusta tu programa. Thank you, sir, bro. Hopefully you got, access to some internet and they'll hook you up. Shout out Shannon, Bungho, Pelon, Al the Pal. Again, Snicker Season, Omar Carranza. Shout out Lupe, El Sobrino, Darkly Noon, Zaza, Primo, Al the Pal, Winnie the Pooh checking in. Salutes. I missed you earlier. Appreciate you. Again, it's a lot to maneuver here. Jose Amado, appreciate it always. Yayo, salutes to you. 298 Sosa, 030 North was in here earlier. Salutes to him. Big June was in here earlier. Eddie Jimenez, salutes to y'all. JP, wherever you at, salutes to you, sir. Let's see. Shout out Upper Echelon for giving us his time. Shout out Ivy. Borregazo, salutes. Borregazo said it. Jalisco next in line. William Borden. Guillermo Pac. Sizzle 93. Again, Eddie Jimenez. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Michael Moreno. We the biggest fan. So scrolling. Chucky Chingong, appreciate you, sir. Think Like a Kingpin, appreciate you. Thank you for the dono. And I think I'm back. Upper Echelon, I'm a hater because I just don't believe what. But see, in the same tone, John said, Upper Echelon, I'm a hater because I don't just believe whatever you say. And in the same tone, I can't believe what you say either, just from your approach. I would love to hear his thoughts and why he is right and knowledgeable. It somehow means I'm a fake. Hold on, let me go back. I missed something here. Bro, the twins who talked about California when they know nothing about it, pull out the pom-poms. IB said rocket scientists are exactly a great thing to be compared to lately. Aren't exactly a great thing to be compared to lately. John, one might not know the full story. And that be the thing. Shout out Ivan Leave us on the check-in. They come in here talking to me, and it's like, but I'd appreciate your opinion if I thought you knew what the fuck you were talking about. We might share the opinion if I thought you knew what the fuck you was talking about. Maybe they should stick to science. No shit. I didn't have the privilege, but he has helped make one. What was that question? Build your own carretera quota. I don't know what that is. No tunnel for John 1. No tunnel in the bathroom for Put him in the fucking bathroom. I wish you would have said that when I was on live, hater. And they just agreed with you also and said, nah, they weren't as big as those guys. I'd love to hear his thoughts on why he is right and knowledgeable and it somehow means I'm fake. He won't debate it. I'll drop him the link right now. You're gonna take the link and you wanna talk on the channel and tell them what you think, but they get to respond to you? They probably won't want to because I wouldn't want to talk to you because you be twigging. They just gave us the money, John. Impression you was getting extorted in Mexico. Fuck out of here. All right, John must have been there. You guys didn't see John? That's fair. You just don't know what you don't know. That's it. Upper Echelon, I love my haters. They give me motivation. Let's just say we were so. These are primo ass fools. We must have had the money to pay. Upper Echelon, you think the Baron was the only one connected in California? You think Baron was the only one connected in California? Think like a kingpin, let him. Hey, we're probably selling coins on the corner. I could go for a coin right now. Man, this is why I stay out the way. Think like a kingpin. This guy fucking followed you in here, bro. All right? Because it's been a very chill night, you know? Surprisingly chill. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. It's been a surprisingly chill night. So this guy, you know, it's like he knew you were coming over here and shit. He knew the show was over. The fuck?
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
All right, but yeah. A lot of shit happening. Who the F is Barron? John knows, bro, because you don't know. Because John knows, man. If you didn't know, now you know. All right? If you didn't know, now you know. All right? Make sure y'all share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's get to this 10,000 sub mark. I'll be dropping more videos during the week. I'll edit up all of Jay's answers for tonight. Get those out next week. Still got stuff for the Ill Films channel I got to drop. There was some technical difficulties I had to fix, but we got things taken care of. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me tonight. Hundreds up in the chat. Boom. I think I'm gonna restructure. The open bar. All right. I think we're gonna make it goal based. This is just a thought. I still gotta go through the logistics of it. But YouTube added this goal function up here. Bro, I'm sending Bible verses and sending hate. No, you just, well, I didn't hear no hate. You just having a conversation with a jerk off. That's it. Hey, read the post. Oh, yeah, where was that from? Let me see. Yeah, I have an aunt that lost a lot of family members to the shit that go down in Mexico. I'd like to have that conversation with you. All right, let me read this. This is a post from Yohan Grillo. Yohan Grillo said, Mexican President Sheinbaum, under pressure from Trump, pulls off historic mega narco extradition of 29 cartel bosses. Sylvia Garza lost 17 members to the Zetas. She said the extraditions were God's justice on earth. There you have it. Salutes. Bearing the gangster with the Arrellanos from the San Diego Logan Heights, the Pistolero. What based? Velez. Oh, goal based. So, hold on. This was just a thought, right? This was just a thought. Because YouTube's added a goal function here, right? And the goal function is like, you got a certain color of super chats, right? So like $2 super chats are like teal. So you could put up a goal that says you get 10 teal super chats in a certain allotment of time. And that can be a goal set towards a drink. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And then next level. But it's something that I'll talk to you guys about in the Discord and see if we can structure the shit. You know what I'm saying? And we'll talk about it. And you guys can tell me if it's a bullshit idea. All right, salutes. Shout out Zoraida. Guillermo Park said even Escobar was there, was in the back of a cop car. Oh, you owe to your daddy. Tapping in. Shout out Yarf. Only should drink Goldschlager. No. Fucking syrup. All right? Think like a kingpin. Saludos to the family. Hashtag free the wives. Salutes to Vivi. Salutes to the family. And hopefully we get to talk to you soon. All right. Again, I'm not going to call it a party. I have the 10,000 sub celebration coming. All right. Which you helped us reach. And I have the my birthday stream coming. So if we could get you either one of those days, if you want to talk and give your, mentality on this whole BMF shit, I'm here to hear it. If not, we respect it and we appreciate you in the chat. So salutes. Right? Boom. With that said, y'all, we're going to get the fuck out of here so that I can get my ass to editing. Good night, everyone. Great stream, Shy. Thank you, sir. All right. What's going on in Atlanta? Oh, man. John Jones is still here. You wouldn't last in Mexico if it wasn't for that man you called daddy, even though it's not your father. And you know what else is goofy, too? Guys, I could see if you said something funny there, like if there was a joke or something, guys that laugh at all their comments. Why are you laughing at your own comment, bro? All right, good night. Think like a keep it salutes. John 1 from the West Coast, hour from the border. Salute. Think like Kingpin when the show dropping. He answered that last time. She going live. Salute. Think like a Kingpin. John, blah, blah, blah. Enjoy your night, Shael in the chat. Salute to you, Guillermo Pop. Salute to the chat. Again, thank you to Think Like a Kingpin. Thank you to Upper Echelon for coming through, blessing us with his time. And I will see y'all tomorrow night, barring any unforeseen circumstances, all right? But most likely we will be live tomorrow night. Again, I'm going to talk to Velez and Zoraida, JP, and them in the Discord to see if we figure out a good game to go with these goals over here. That helps you go forward. I thought I was going to cover some of this stuff tomorrow, but after the extradition, it was like we had to go live today. Shout out Zoraida, great live, Shy Twins. Thank you for your time, like always. Salutes. Hey, calling someone daddy that's not related to you is crazy work. We don't know who you call daddy, John. You know it all. We don't know nothing about you. Where's your picture? Show your face. Give us your background. Give us something that we can say you weren't built for. All right, thank you. Good night. God bless. Salutes to you. Think like Kingpin. Have a good night, Shy Ill in the chat. Appreciate you. All right, John, we gave you enough attention. Anybody want to put John in the bathroom for just a couple seconds just to show him how shit works about here? Just give him seconds. He'll be back before we're gone.
Put him in a fucking bedroom, man.
Shout out Bungho. Catch you on the next one. Shy from Saskatchewan, Canada. Canada. Salutes to you, sir. All right. And so did but here's what you're missing. Here's what's disingenuous about this statement, John. Boom, Zoraida got his ass. But I'm going to see if I can see the message anyway. The message says the twins have said they called everyone daddy in Mexico. But here's the disingenuous part of that. And this is why I can't talk to everybody. And everybody be like, why are you protecting the twins? No, I'm protecting truth, okay? What's disingenuous about the comment is that you're missing out the fact that that was cold talk. And they weren't the only ones that called them that. And every other tough guy whose nuts you swing off of was calling them the same thing. All right? So that's what's wrong with motherfuckers like you. That you're disingenuous, you left that shit out. Sucker shit. That's sucker shit. All of the dudes that you do not hug, they was calling them daddy too. And if you worked there, you was going to call them daddy too. Because that's the rules, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Period. I hate that weak ass shit. Motherfuckers be disingenuous. Like, come on, man. If you going to say it, ain't no cold talk. See, that's all you can say. All you can do is say, no, that's not true. You got nothing, man. Give him 24 hours, man. I don't like this guy's attitude. Give him fuck out of here. 24 hours. 24 hours. He definitely missing tomorrow's live. Well, he won't miss the live. He'll miss the chat, though. Oh, no. Zoraida was laying in the background with the hatchet. I mean, but he done earned himself 24 hours. You might be, no, you, punk, you go, if you was working over there, you was calling them daddy too. And all your favorite gangster cartel superheroes, they was calling them daddy too. Miss me with the shit. Go back to the game. Go back to playing the video game. All right? Go back to playing the video game. Somebody give him 24 motherfucking hours. Put him in a fucking bedroom, man. But am I wrong? Oh, man, this guy woke in the shy beast. But am I wrong, though? Y'all mad for the two? No, see, and that's the more fake shit. We mad at fake motherfuckers like you. You've shown us who you are. We've seen who you are now. You fake as fuck. We just saw that. We not caping for the twins. They can handle their own business. You light. You don't even got information. But you're already disingenuous. You a liar. You lie to yourself. I can't honor that. I'm not going to have that conversation with you. You're not worthy of that conversation. That's why you're in the fucking bathroom now.
Adios, pendejo.
You know what I'm saying? The fuck is wrong with you? I hate that shit. Won't acknowledge that his favorite Sicario was calling him daddy too. Like, come on, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. Salutes to the usual suspects. Salutes to the members. Salutes to the wrenches, all right? Tunane Sosa, I think you need to get wrenched up. Yeah, I think Tunane got to get wrenched up. That was a code to move weight all over the world. Big Twins. Chucky left it for you, Velez. Beat you to it. All right, y'all have a good night, man. I'll talk to y'all in the Discord about the rest of that shit. Chucky said on point. Motherfuckers is not playing, all right? Everybody's like,
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. I had respect, and I respect Yohan Grillo's Spanish vocab, all right? I didn't even hit him with the
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
I showed him the utmost respect. Again, salutes to wrenches, salutes to donators, salutes Think Like a Kingpin. I appreciate all of y'all. Y'all have a great night, and I will see y'all mañana, all right? Peace.
Hanging from a thread till you dead, cause your partner put a price on your head. Cause your chick was laying up in his bed, she getting details, spitting every word that you said. She working retail, thirsty bitch just trying to get ahead. If history tell us anything, y'all both end up dead. It's just a street tale, a fable, some shit someone said. Sit at the table and hope there's more to offer than bread. Pulled out the cradle, first steps you getting chased by a fed. No head starts, just body parts and lead sparks. Old religion, brand new hate and weak hearts. Oligarchs, krakens, dragons, you see sharks. Imagine you could manage to maneuver the deep part. You a savage, you can have it, just show all your teeth sharp. If you could grab it, you could stab it, just aim for the bleeding heart. The ones that show compassion, the soldier that seeks art. Does the artist that wage war take over or take part? Taking a knee, thinking no one faithful is me. I'm good people in bad lands, no evil live within me. I mind mine, I survive, find this land's for the free. If I'm mistaken, I'm forsaken, no one rescuing me. Residual effects, straight bullets through familiar necks. For any number of infractions that I deem disrespect. Your beliefs, you deserve better, but we both in the shit. You just haven't come to grips with it yet. Fight or flight, and they ain't really nowhere to go. If your back is against the wall and you ain't throwing no blows, you gon' crumble in the rubble, become blood in the snow. If you a victim, they collect them, grab the body and go. Dig them and ditch them, total disregard for the soul. Gas them and lit them, watch the flesh burn in the glow. Where we live and catch a shiver, this a hell you don't know. Your best hope is that your dying ain't slow, or your dying's a show. Where we at, it's every man for his own. A bloody backdrop, where killers just zone and slice flesh to the bone. Masked and gloved up front of your home. A flash of gun, but the side of your dome. Fresh blood from a stone, dents in your sense. Kick your fucking ball through the fence, dare you to say something. No sense in sitting around in suspense. Find out what's next, open your fucking mouth, disrespect. See the extent of how my life is intense. She beautiful and oppressed in a permanent summer dress. She a servant and still she blessed. Children cradled against her breast, whispering prayers, wishing their souls the best, knowing that they forgotten, not forgetting they're blessed. The bloodiest red lights, just piles of dead life. Something must be broken, the glyphs wasn't read right. You think them Bible papers would shed light? Yeah, right. Burn after reading, tell the preacher I'm leaving.